Timothy Bradley, Paulie, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fan wants to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you in the head and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the brews. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table. Yeah.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, Zone6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.
Break it down. Give me 5 people you ready to fight right now.
Timothy Bradley, Paulie, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fan wants to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you in the head and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the brews. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table. Yeah.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, Zone6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.
All right. While we wait for my next victim, I want y'all to know, okay, real briefly, the official link is for the judges and the moderator only. Nobody else. We're going to watch me work today. Yeah. You know, we're going to do the charisma thing. It's going to be a fucking education. Okay. These are the championships right here. I brought them. Unified, baby. Nobody ain't stopped me yet. This is smoke. I can't done this until I officially beat him. So you got it. This is smoke. He's the champ. He got his belt here. It's on deck. No funny business. Let me take these off. And let me put them off in the pile. This for Undisputed. This link is only for the judges. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. Go get you a drink. Go get you some water. And I'm finna be done with the pleasantries. And I'm going to let the judges and the moderators come in and start introducing themselves and give you a little bit about their background so we can kick this right off at 6 o'clock. Whether he here or not, I'm going to smoke his boots. And we're going to give you this presentation regardless because you're here now. So let's go ahead and cut the music. We know who the round table is by now. We'll need no distractions. We off in the comment section. Here you go. All right. So mic check. Clearly, y'all can hear me loud and clear. I got one judge in, that's Wayne Talk. And then we got King G, the boxologist. I'm going to get into focus mode. They can occupy the airtime up into 6. Let me go get me a water and let me get locked in and focus and set my stuff up. They can control the channel. Hey, Wayne Talk, tell them about yourself, what you're looking for. King G, the boxologist, tell them what you're looking for until the other guys show up. And do your thing. We got 7 minutes until it's go time.
Hey, Box and Talk. I'm just here to moderate, or not moderate, to judge this debate. I'm just looking for material. I'm just looking for a wide range of knowledge on the subject that y'all are discussing, and I'm just going to judge from there. I mean, that's about all I have to say. I'm just going to judge from there. I'm not going to put out a criteria of what I'm looking for. I know exactly what I'm looking for. So that's just, I'm on standby to figure out who's going to present a better argument, and and some knowledgeable information for the audience.
What's up, man? This is King G, the boxologist. You can follow my page at King, all caps, space G, all caps, space the THA, space boxologist, BOXOLOGIST. Man, I'm just looking for somebody to just have a good solid argument, present their case. The way that they present their facts. I'm expecting real solid rebuttals, and just solid historical facts that they can present to either put their opponent in some kind of trick bag, or just kill a opponent's point. And just be sure of themselves, man. Just with the energy, the confidence, what I'm saying, your verbiage, and your knowledge and your facts, man. So, we're gonna get it cracking, we're gonna get it popping. It's champion versus champion for the unification in this piece. So we're gonna see what happens, man. I think this is gonna be a good one.
But it's on you, man. Everybody telling you what their criteria is and giving the standard. It's on you. You've been talking trash to me all day. Now this your time to shine. Go on and tell them how historical in nature you plan on being.
Well, blood boxing shines all the time, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm looking for great points. I'm looking for historical data. I'm looking for who makes the best argument. Now, I have my own opinions on who I think had the better career between Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano, but that has nothing to do with it. It only has to do with the arguments that you guys present. And I'm going to take some notes while y'all are presenting each side, and, see who makes the better points. And we'll just take it from there, bro.
And that's one thing I like to say too, man. Also, man, the argument of or my personal opinion of who I think is better is irrelevant. It's just really gonna come down to which debater presents the better argument. I will be taking notes as well. To every crucial point or legitimate point or powerful point each opponent makes. So.
I also want to point out too that the era, how much you guys know about the era, how much you guys know about the environment, rather than just the Google rundown. I'll be looking for a little bit more information on the eras, on the environments, and things of that nature, things that I know. So, I'm expecting the guys who are participating to know a little more than me, coming fresh off of some research. And, I'm just going to be ready for this, man. This is big. I'm ready for this. I prepared, so I'm ready. I can't wait to see what you guys present. That's all I can say.
Phil, what you looking for? It's on you. Everybody explaining what they're looking for so we can get an understanding, not just for this debate, but just for future debates as well too. You know what I'm saying? So people can understand how we judge and how we actually should conduct a real debate. So what you looking for, man? What can we expect? All right, Phil Walker, he's dropping off. We'll let these guys. They got 2 minutes, so we're just letting Wayne Talks here early. King G here early. Blood is here early, so that's 3 of the judges. We waiting on the moderator and Rollo Jenkins.
Where's getting the smoke at? Where's GTS?
Man, I'm not worried about that. I'm not putting no energy on him. I'm right now on this. I'm locked in. Giving y'all the opportunity to tell. It's showtime now, baby. It's showtime. You know what I'm saying? We waiting on Phil to get in here, waiting on Rollo to get on here, and we waiting on him. My shit loaded. I'm ready. And I'm going first.
Well, we need GTS for the debate, so hopefully he shows up.
Well, that shit start getting ripped off on his ass, and he'll just lose. Shit, it'll be education today. So we saying, let me see. He'll be here though, I'm sure of it. I got faith in him. He go Phil Walker. He gonna explain what he looking for and what he expect. We waiting on Rollo and we waiting on Ryan Clark, and we also waiting on Get the Smoke. Yo, Phil Walker, you there? All right. Blood boxologist, Wayne Talk. Y'all can still hear me, correct? Let me see something. Your mic check.
I'm here.
Okay. I was just checking. I was gonna have to do the phone. I want to make sure nobody says it's my phone or nothing like that or my laptop. I just want to make sure. I know you guys are getting focused, but we just got to check it because we waiting on Rollo and we waiting on Phil to get in here. There's Phil. Can you say something? Can you speak or no? We waiting on Clark. And we waiting on trying to log on. Okay, Clark and Phil trying to log on now. Well, y'all got a little time because Get Smoke or Rollo haven't showed up. If neither one of them show up, we'll just go from there. Shit, that's it. Well, it sure do sound good, but when you're on the other side.
Man, who Money Brown talking to in the chat?
He probably talking about nothing. He just me and him like.
Let me ask you something, Zone. Who are we going on? We going on who will win the fight or who had the better legacy?
Whatever the debater can bring to convince you of his argument. Real debate. Ain't no. It's if you anybody on here that's historian and logical.
Those are still two different things.
Well, he can bring it. If he bring it, I bet to defend against it. He know that he know. Y'all just gotta listen and sit back and relax. He can bring legacy. He can bring quotes. He can bring whatever the climate. He can talk about white girls. He can talk about color line. I got something for it all. That's what I'm telling you. Yes, blood. I'm arrogant as I want to be. Oh, see now Tony Review say he can't. Let's get the smoke can debate, man. And if he find himself not being a no-show here, maybe you and him can get it in together. But I'm here, and I might if he don't show up in a few minutes, I still might have to put on the show, and then I might have to see if Money Brown or somebody else might want to see something. I don't know, man. We got to see what Get the Smoke does. We got to give him a fair opportunity because it's only 6:02. He picked the time. We both agreed on the judges. He said Wayne Talk is good. He said Boxology is good. He said Blood definitely is good. He said Phil and Rollo, Phil is good. He didn't want Rollo as a judge. He said he'd rather have him as a moderator. I asked about D-Style. He said no, because he felt like he cooked these style. I asked about hype low. He said no. I said, okay, cool. Just to give you why we wait on these guys, just to give you a background on how we got here. Or I pulled up on his channel and I challenged him about it, about the heavyweight legacy debates. And we arrived on him thinking Rocky Marciano is third. And I ended up saying I challenged his Rocky Marciano with Jack Johnson. That's how we got here. So we went on 3 more folks. Tony reviews, man. Oh man, I don't know. You got a few minutes, man. We ain't gonna wait too long. We gonna at least give him 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? 15 might be a tough one, but let me cook. You've been advocating for get this smoke. He probably gonna come in flustered. And we
Has anybody talk to him?
Man, I've been talking. I got the chat. You know that I've been sending the texts out all day just to make sure we good. He went 11 miles yesterday, and I checked on him yesterday to make sure we still good, and he said, yeah, So he said, ain't no excuses.
He also did a video, too, building up to this debate.
Exactly. So, again, I don't want to assume nothing. We got to give him 30 minutes, but let me drop the link back in here so we won't, so it's easy to find, because it ain't just him, Phil and Ryan Clark. Maybe, in Texas and California, they have some issues that we don't know about, And everybody turn on the news and make sure Texas and California is still a part of the United States, because maybe it's a pandemic or something we don't know that's going on the news. They haven't affected the East Coast yet. Okay, let's see. There's somebody that don't jump in here. There you go. He showed up. There goes Smoke.
What's up? Sorry, guys, for wasting what time you guys have carved out for this momentous occasion. My bad. I looked up, it was 2:55, and I looked up again, it was 3:03. Okay, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, you picked the time, so we should be good now.
No, we're good. I'm free. I got, and actually we can tack on, if everybody else is free, we can tack on whatever time I just wasted of everybody's onto the end. So we can still get that same amount, that same 3-hour block.
It's only 6 minutes. We'll get cracking at 6:15. So you got time to go get a water, go pee and get comfortable.
That's what's up. I appreciate that.
Yeah, get comfortable. We'll start to get these other guys some chance.
Cool. How's everybody doing? I see the Hitman Hearns down there. That's Blood Boxing's logo. I think that's Wayne Talks. I see the black and white photo of Wayne Talk. Who else we got in the building?
Well, man, Boxologist is in here too.
Oh, what's up, Boxologist? All right, cool.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Everybody's enjoying their weekend so far?
Oh yeah, man, it's been a pretty good weekend.
Shit. Okay, it sounds like somebody died. What the hell happened? This is what happens when I'm a little bit late. You guys go back to sleep. Call back the caskets.
You ain't the latest one here. There's some other people that need to show up. So
okay. We went on Phil and Ryan. We went on tour though. We'll start in 15 minutes a day here.
All right. So, for the judges, do you guys have a I know that a lot of we are all boxing enthusiasts of both today's fighters and probably even more so fighters of the past. Have you guys thought about this question before? Have you done videos on it? Do you already have an idea in your mind about who you think is who has a more lasting legacy?
Yeah, I do. I believe I have a certain belief, but I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to be looking at your guys' debate. And the only thing that I can't establish is you guys still ain't said who has the title legacy. Who would win the fight between the two, or is it a combination of both? Zone said to just let it go with the flow, but those are two different things.
This is a legacy debate. If you
This is
want
a
to bring
legacy
in,
debate. Yeah.
if you want to bring in imaginary options, I mean, it's everything, blood. It's everything that you want.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't,
Yeah.
that's you
Yeah,
guys.
I feel fairly confident that you guys will be as objective as you possibly can be. Even if you
Absolutely.
already have a dog in the fight, I'm sure that you guys can put that to one side, or at least I'm very confident you guys can. I'm not worried about that.
You better believe it.
Well, they got time to explain it to you again. You weren't here earlier, and they went around and they gave their basic criteria. So I'll let them explain it to you again.
Okay.
Clark is here now. So you guys say he being in a second, so they can explain to you what they're probably looking for, points and criteria.
We didn't really discuss format at all. It was just a challenge issued and accepted. And do you want to do like opening statements and rebuttals and questions? Like, how you want to do it?
I'm going first. I'll lay down my entire premise in my whole entire structure for the debate.
Okay.
I'm completely prepared, so it ain't gonna be no guessing when I get started. That's what I want everybody here.
Okay. So you got opening statements, and then you give your opening statement. I guess I could either give mine and then we rebut, or you want me to just rebut your statement? You want to do opening statements and then rebuttals?
When the debate start, I'm gonna cook on everything. I got a full outline on what this.
Yeah, but you gotta let them know what the rules are, man.
Right, and that's gonna be covered in the intro, not the structure of the debate, but I'm gonna cover the material that I'm covering. So he get to rebut, or he get to lay his own foundation how he see fit.
Okay.
All right, that's simple.
Okay. Cool.
Where's the moderator at? The moderator's supposed to be talking about some of this.
Yeah, well, we ran on Rollo. Rollo talking about he getting his equipment set up. He got like 5 minutes, so we'll see what's going on. We got enough people here now. Phil, internet is messing up, and Rollo said he's setting up. So let me get these guys 5 minutes, and then we can get to cooking.
Is this what your dressing room is like before a fight? Just like a morgue? I mean, are you already conceding? Like, the hell happened? The hell? Where's the Dolomite movies and stuff? Some ice cream.
I want everybody to know.
Yeah.
I'm putting cases on all you Earl Spence supporters. I'm putting cases on all of y'all. The fight is signed. It is here. I don't want to hear no 50-50, because if you weren't saying 50-50 a year ago or 2 years ago, I don't want it. I want that same energy that Earl Spence gonna walk over Terrence Crawford. I want all that. When your boy gets stopped, because that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna get stopped. I want the same energy.
Hey, I got Spence, bro. I'm Cap. You know I'm a Bud fan, man. I got Bud stopping him too. 9th round.
In other news, at least we got the fight happening, man. Shit, I'm glad both of them agreed to fight each other. Tyson gave us a blueprint. He said, all you got to do, all the thing need to happen, both fighters need to say yes. I'm not fighting nobody unless it's him. And they tested that blueprint out, and that shit worked.
Hey, man, what y'all think about Inoue and Stephen Fulton fight?
I got Fulton.
That's gonna be a blockbuster right there. I got Inoue.
Hey, you want to bet again? I got Fulton. I got Cool Boy.
I promise. I feel like I had money. I bet some money with one of y'all on that Lomachenko-Haney fight. I just can't remember who. I know it was probably like a 50. Could have been Riley. I don't know who it was, but yeah, it's all good.
Hey, I know it wasn't Wayne Talk, because Wayne Talk paid. Big respect to him.
Yeah. It was me and Clark betting on that fight. I know that. Boss Knowledge, you bet on the fight?
I know. I remember like some months back when we was talking about the fight happening and stuff. I made a bet with somebody, you know, in a round. I just don't remember who it was. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know.
Months back? How did you bet months back?
Well, it was like probably a month back before the fight happened. We was all talking about the fight, and I was putting bets down with different fights with you know what I'm saying. And I just can't remember who I made a bet with. But it's all good. We you know, leading up to the fight, we didn't bring it back up anyway. So
Hey, if I can remember, I think me and you betted that boy Wayne Talk 50. I'm not trying to be messy. I'm for real too.
I don't know.
I ain't betting no Boston Knowledges. I know that.
You know, hey man, I don't know. I bet you know Wayne Talk money ain't no good over here, man. He still owe me money from the Pacquiao
fight.
Man,
every time I lose a bet, look, every time I lose a bet, I pay. Every time I lose a bet,
hey man, you owe me 2 bones, man, for the Pacquiao, man. I need mine.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. Wayne Talk, I think this is my second time beating Wayne Talk in a bet. He paid right after the fight. You ain't gotta go look for him.
Man, hey, there's some deeper stuff going on, Ryan. We ain't gonna get but yeah, man. Hey, I don't know. I know I'm still waiting on my 2, man. I feel like Floyd, how you feel with Bob Arum, man, with the Zab Judah, man. He still owe me money from the Zab Judah fight, man. And Wayne Talk still owe me money from the Pacquiao fight, man. That was a boy. Hey, we had an ongoing bet. Shoot, for years. Shoot, good fun though, man. Good fun, man. I'm excited for this debate, man.
Hey, you better be lucky I let you out the Earl Spence Terrence Crawford fight, because you remember me and you had a remember me and you had a bet. We said if they ever fight, we was gonna bet that 50. You remember that? But I let you right up because of the car crash.
All right. So we got the moderator here. All right. It's time. So go ahead, moderator. Y'all can reintroduce yourself, speak your piece, and let's get to it. Go ahead.
All right. Sorry for the late entry, fellas, man. This damn technology, man. I don't understand how a computer could not have the updated software to go to your stream, but a damn iPad does. Just some goofy shit, y'all. All right. Here we go, man. This is a roundtable special exclusive. We got the entire roundtable staff in this motherfucker today. We got a special debate with my boy ZONE6 and GTS Get the Smoke. Is y'all boys ready or what?
Yeah, let's get it in.
All right, let's get right to it, man. We're doing a coin flip. We're doing a coin flip or what?
Man, no, Zoe's going to go first.
Okay. Yeah, so Bill, here's your answer to your question, dog. The debate is Jack Johnson, and this is my premise. Jack Johnson versus Rocky Marciano. My objectives is the intro to discuss the basic numbers just as a base comparison between Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano. I will compare the resume fighter by fighter. I will deep dive into record settings by both opponents and each one of their opponents' resume, along with who they fought, to give them credibility as boxers. I will use quotes to validate the impact or an influence of the fighter on their resumes. Overall, I will present and compare the accomplishments and the accolades of both fighters and their opponents. These objectives will be proven through that Jack Johnson has a better legacy than Rocky Marciano based on logic and tangible evidence. So I have Jack Johnson, Get the Smoke, have Rocky Marciano. Let's start with some of the Rocky Marciano quotes. Rocky Marciano, quote, on December 16th, 1956 on the Ed Sullivan Show. Out of 49 fights, which would you consider to be your toughest fight? That's where Ed Sullivan posed as a question. Rocky Marciano said, Jersey Joe Wildcat, it was the first time I ever went down. Put a pin mark in that because we're going to build on that. Okay, the second question Ed Sullivan had asked him on the Ed Sullivan Show, December 16th, 1956 is, I'm going to ask you the $500,000 question. Suppose Jim Morris offer you a check for $500,000. Would you come out of retirement? Money isn't everything is exactly what Rocky Marciano said. $500,000 in 1956 is equal to $5.5 million today. Rocky Marciano also quoted in this same very interview, if Mr. Norris was to offer me $1 million, I think it would be a no thanks, Mr. Norris. At this time, Floyd Patterson is the champion who reigned from November 10th, 1956 to June 26, 1959. He said he wouldn't do it for $1 million, equated to today, right? Which is $11 million today. All this is irrelevant because I'm going to show you how Rocky Marciano had an entirely short career, a short title reign, and he decided to weave in around your boy Floyd Patterson and your boy Sonny Liston because Sonny Liston was on his way. So we're going to prove that, and we're going to comb through the resume and break down some of these Hall of Famer fights that he did and compare it to Jack Johnson. So when we start looking at the basis of the numbers, let's also look at some more quotes from your boy Rocky Marciano. This Rocky Marciano, this is quotes from him August 7, 1966 on Australian Sports with Ron Casey. 1966 on the Australian TV interview with Ron Casey on the World of Sports. They asked him, what do you think about Ali? He says, Ali has had a couple of fights with Sonny Liston that are questionable and dubious. So this is Rocky Marciano saying that he don't think too high of Ali at the time, nor Sonny Liston at the time. And this is going to address him retiring and why he plausibly retired, because a lot of people would suggest and say that he ducked Floyd Patterson and your boy Sonny Liston because Sonny Liston was on the rise. But of course, it's my job to prove that, right? So let's go to another quote, what he said. He said, this at the time when Sonny Liston was champion. Sonny Liston was champion from September 25th, 1962, June 19th, 1964. Rocky was offered to return to the ring when he was champion. Rocky states that it only would happen if I fight Ingemar Johansson, who became champion in June 1955. So those who don't know, Floyd Patterson picked up the title. And in between that, Johansson beat him, and he ended up going on to regain his title to fight Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston ended up reigning as champion. In between that time, Rocky Marciano had already said, I told you earlier, that he was willing to turn down $500,000 to come back. He's willing to turn down $1 million to come back. But for Johansson, he would make an exception to come back to fight another great white hope. He refused to fight Floyd Patterson, and he refused to fight Sonny Liston. And then when it comes down to Cassius Clay, let's talk about what he thought about that. Is Cassius Clay good for boxing? Rocky Marciano says no. He overdid it. He talked a little too much, and he talked about the wrong things when he brought his religion into the picture. It changed the whole setup of boxing. And for the last 2 years, he has been bad for boxing. All right, those are a few quotes just to lay down a foundation on the premise of who Rocky Marciano really is. He's a guy that's solid, but he's over-exaggerated within his career. You're talking about a guy who supposed to be fighting or could have fought Muhammad Ali because his career was extremely short. He could have continued, but he chose to retire instead. He also had a chance to come back, and he was offered $500K, which is $5.5 million, to fight Floyd Patterson or to fight Sonny Liston. He declined and said he would only do it for Johansson. Okay? So basic numbers by comparison. Jack Johnson got 95 fights. Rocky Marciano got 49 fights. That's one for Jack Johnson because we know how important activity is. And it's not just a stretch on activity because truly activity is about who's on your resume. We're going to get to that too. So this is not a guy in Jack Johnson who got 95 fights and he got 95 bombs. We're going to get to his whole entire resume and who's who to sort this nonsense out today. Jack Johnson got 72 wins. 72 wins. Rocky Marciano got 49 wins. We're going to figure out who had the best wins and how and when and where in the time frames. But Jack Johnson got 9 International Boxing Hall of Fame opponents on his resume that I'm going to use. Rocky Marciano only got 3 International Boxing Hall of Fames that you can only use. Jack Johnson got 2 title runs. Jack Johnson had the first title run. He got 11 title fights and 10 defenses. He's 11-0 on the world colored heavyweight side of the house. Rocky Marciano got 7 title fights and 6 defense compared to 11 and 10. Last time I checked, 11 and 10 is better than 7 and 6. That's just the first title run. The second title run on the world heavyweight side of the house, the same belt that Rocky Marciano is holding with his 7 title fights and his 6 defenses, and he's the same lineage, same bloodline as Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson got a record of 9 title fights and 8 defenses for the same belt that Rocky Marciano had. Now, here's the thing about it. When you combine what Jack Johnson actually done, when you look at his colored title, because the colored title counts, and then you got a lot of rumors out here about this color line shit. Truth be told, Jack Johnson had beat all the people and cleaned out the color side of the house. So the color line and drawing it is irrelevant because the person that they point to say that he ducked this person is Sam Langford. And I'm going to compare Sam Langford later to one of Rocky Marciano's opponent, and he beat him. Okay? So the second thing we look at when we look at the numbers in totality, just slow it down a little bit. I want you guys to think about this. Rocky Marciano got 7 title fights and 6 defenses. When you take Jack Johnson, both of his runs from Black Murderers Row, and let's argue it could be a White Murderers Row. So him drawing the color line is irrelevant because he beat Hall of Famers. He got 6 International Boxing Hall of Fame opponents in title matches. Rocky Marciano got 2 International Boxing Hall of Fame opponents in title matches. Rocky Marciano's reign was 3 years, 1952 to 1955. Jack Johnson got a 5-year title run, 1903 to 1908. Jack Johnson got a 6-year title run, 1908 to 1915. 11-year title run compared to a 3-year title run for Rocky Marciano. So by the numbers, I don't know how math work in different places in different areas of the country. Basic numbers show that Jack Johnson is better than Rocky Marciano in comparison. So if there's an issue, and then I'm going to close with this, and I'm going to pass it to Get the Smoke. When you look at the color title, if there's a question about the color title, the color title was commissioned in 1876. The world title was commissioned August the 29th, 1885. So the color title is more valid than the world title and has a more secure lineage than the world title. That's the title that Rocky Marciano had. But it doesn't matter because Jack Johnson held both of them. So it doesn't matter. But we're going to just pick apart everything and put it back together on the micro and macro level. So let's talk about the colored title. The colored title had already established the lineage. Charles C. Smith, Morris Grant, Charles Hadley, George Godfrey, which is an International Boxing Hall of Fame member. Those were 4 Black Murderers Row champions that had already solidified the colored title prior to the world title in 1885. 1876, that's a 9-year establishment. But let's talk about the world title, the one that Rocky Marciano and Jack Johnson both have held. The first person to hold it was John L. Sullivan. The second person was James J. Corbett. The third person was Bob Fitzsimmons. The next person was James A. Jeffrey, Marvin Hart, Thomas Burns. That's 6 people. 6 founding fathers on the world title. 6. Jack Johnson beat 3 of them. Jack Johnson beat 3 of them. All of them are Hall of Fames. International Boxing Verified Hall of Fames. John L. Sullivan, James J. Corbett, Bob Fitzsimmons, James J. Jeffries, Marvin Hart, and Thomas Burns. He beat Thomas Burns, he beats James Jeffrey, and he beat Bob Simmons, and he becomes the 7th world title holder. That's a Hall of Famer.
All right. All right. That's a good first round. All right. Get to Smoke. If you would like to rebuttal or you just want to come with your first round first.
I guess I have to do both.
Well, I mean, it's clear.
I mean, right now, what I feel like I am in a semantics class.
Well, let's
this conversation was supposed to be about. I guess I'm going to go. I'm going to just start right now.
All right.
This conversation was supposed to be about legacy. Instead, I'm in a conversation about resume. If you wanted to just compare resumes, you should have said who has a better resume, and then we would have a different debate. But we're talking about legacy, the things that you pass on, not resumes that you can compare to one another. When it comes to the legacy, of Rocky Marciano. The things that you pass on to to the next generations that of fighters of the sport, then yeah, I mean, every metric that you use, every relevant metric at least, must include Rocky Marciano. Even and maybe even especially size, right? Shout out to the Galveston Giant. But yeah, Marciano's impact on the sports reverberates throughout the careers of nearly every ATG heavyweight that would follow him, and it possibly culminates in the two most recognizable personalities in this ancient sports history. Muhammad Ali, who said, I guess since we're doing dates of the people who said stuff, he said in 1974 on an ESPN interview that of all the guys, including Jack Johnson, John L. Sullivan, all those guys we were just talking about, all those ATGs, which one would give him the toughest time? Well, he said Rocky Marciano, Muhammad Ali. He said later on, 2 years later, when he was talking to Howard Cosell, he says he just doesn't know if he would ever be able to beat Rocky Marciano. That's like left up to the imagination. And that's yours and my favorite heavyweight, Muhammad Ali. Right? You got Mike Tyson, the second guy. If anybody knows any boxer at all, like on the face of the earth, every human being, if they know a boxer, it's probably going to be either Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson. Well, Muhammad Ali said he didn't know if he could beat Rocky Marciano. That guy would give him the toughest time. If you want to talk about guys doing the toughest time. And Mike Tyson, throughout the beginning of his career on his meteoric rise, he was often compared to, his style was often compared to Rocky Marciano. And yeah, to rebut this thing, I mean, I don't kind of talk about resumes, but this idea that he like ducked Archie Moore that you talked about. Yeah, well, Archie Moore wrote a book, I want to say it's 1963, called what the hell, like Victory Over Myself, where he talks about how Cus D'Amato made sure Rocky Marciano was retired before they moved Floyd Patterson up, right, to fight for the fight. So yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that. I'm not like, even when it comes to the resumes, I feel like we're talking past each other with this thing. Mike Tyson not only just adopted the guys, a lot of his techniques and his style. Cus D'Amato was was hugely influenced by Rocky Marciano's punching techniques, to the point where that gazelle punch that we saw Rocky Marciano knocking dudes out with, sending them into paralyzing guys with, it's actually Floyd Patterson who gets the credit for that gazelle punch. And even another Cus D'Amato guy, even Mike Tyson gets more credit for the gazelle punch than Rocky Marciano. Meanwhile, he's doing it when Floyd Patterson is not even in boxing. I mean, I think Floyd started 1950. It was his first amateur fight, and we see him doing it against Kid Matthews, I guess in 50, and we see him do it against the guy put in a hospital, Bingo Vingo. He drops him in the first round with it. But that's legendary punches, I guess, which is also like part of the sport. We got trainers like, not sets Cus D'Amato. I guess we got gyms, Crunk, legendary trainer Emmanuel Stewart. He talks about how he had a poster for all of the, his up and coming young fighters coming in, guys like Tommy Hitman Hearns. They had Rocky Marciano's picture over that. So not only could they be reminded of the devastation from one punch could cause, but also that spirit of determination to never give up, no matter what's happening, right? Like even when all the odds are stacked against you, you might have summon up something deep and dig down deep, be gritty, and figure out how to finish your guy, right? That's credit to Rocky Marciano's legacy. The Money Man, Floyd Mayweather, different Floyd altogether, right? In selling the most lucrative fight for him personally of his, eye-popping pay-per-view career, right? He marketed that whole thing off of, Rocky Marciano's record, right? That's what he just kept talking about the whole time. It was 49, 50-0, 50-0. That is what we're talking about when you talk about legacy. You talk about things like going into the legendary fight between Michael Spinks and Larry Holmes, how they talked about him being able to just tie Rocky Marciano's legacy and that epic meltdown that Larry Holmes had afterwards, after getting beat by Michael Spinks in the first fight, right? Those are things that are like legacy, right? Or like even take, like if you want to go into the realm of like the fanciful, but it's still in the realm of boxing, and you said something about the International Boxing Hall of Fame and how many guys are in there. Well, guess what? There's one guy in there who is a fictional character, Rocky Balboa, right? Based on the life and the legacy of one Rocky Marciano. Now, those are the kinds of metrics when you talk about the legacy of somebody, not like, the state of the guy when they fought. Like resume conversations are just, I mean, we could have had that conversation and had that debate if you'd have said, hey, let's have a resume debate, but don't like try to con everybody, say it's a legacy debate and then start talking about resumes. Go ahead.
All right, so first off, we're talking about Jack Johnson versus Rocky Marciano, and you're supposed to bring whatever you have to bring, and only thing you have told us about is how great Costamato is. So I'm glad that you feel that Costamato and Mike Tyson is such valid heavyweight champions. Good, because I'm going to use that against you later, but we're going to move forward the course. Because in boxing, your legacy is determined by your accolades and your resume and the records that you break and who you fought. I mean, it's the best fight the best. You're on record by saying what determines who beats who. You just said that Buster Douglas, your own mouth, out of your own opinion, on live, you've already said that Buster Douglas is better than Mike Tyson because the epitome of boxing is to figure out who beats who in the ring. Okay, anything else outside of that is kind of just banter, right? So we understand that you know that who fight who in the best fight the best is absolutely important. Telling us about Costamato is cool trinkets to hang on a motherfucking tree. But at the end of the day, it's about Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano, and we're going to stay on goddamn topic today. So you can act like throwing away resume doesn't matter, because what's the point of us doing this? If we can't talk about who fought who, then what's the point of watching boxing? None of us tune in to TVs to watch no goddamn trainers train. We're not interested in Derrick James. We're not interested in Freddie Roach. We're interested in the fighters that they fucking train and who they fight and what they accomplish in the rings. Not who put the most posters on the wall, not who put the asses in the seat. And then I'm going to tell you something. You bodied yourself. Your boy Rocky Balboa is not in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. That is a lie, and that is a fucking lie. He is not in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He's in the fucking World Hall of Fame. So let's keep on moving on. Resume versus resume one. First of all, Klondike Hayes is the black heavyweight champion that Jack Johnson TKO'd. That's a historical figure. Now let's compare that to Klondike Hayes to Roland Lestarza. First of all, Roland Lestarza is a guy who got a title shot with Rocky Marciano. Why did he get a title shot? This guy never won a title in his life. Listen to what I'm telling you. Roland Lestarza, who's on Rocky Marciano's resume twice, never won a title, a major title in life. I'm going to say that one more time. He never won a major title in his life at no weight classes. But I'm going to tell you what he does do. He's a hell of an actor. Let me tell you what kind of shit he's done. He's an actor that has multiple television appearances, right? He's a TV star. He starred in 7/7 Sunset Strip. We can look at that on Netflix. He starred in the classic, The Wild Wild West. He starred in such shows as Perry Mason. He starred in 2 episodes of Batman, 13 and 14. He starred in a movie called Point Blank. He starred in a movie or a television show called The Outfit. He starred in another movie called The Don Is Dead, The Big Mouth, Which Way to the Front, Convict 4, A Fine of Madness, Incidents of a Dark Street. This is the fuck who Rocky Marciano is fighting, guys. And for the record, Rocky Marciano never fought 15 rounds into his last 7 fights into his title. Everything else was 10 and below. Even when he fought Joe Louis, that shit was 10 and below. When he fought Roland Lestarza the first time, who gave him trouble, he went in as the underdog to this guy who never won a title in his life. It was 10 rounds. Let's keep on cooking to the next person. Johnson Martin, who's the black heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Bob Armstrong. He beat Sam McVeigh, who's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame,
hey,
and won the color
zone,
championship of the world.
You're
He
getting a
beat
little
Gunbo
break up
Smith.
there. You're getting a little break
Okay,
up there.
all right. Can you hear me?
You might be good now. You might be good now. Yeah, you sound good now.
Okay,
You had a good 30 seconds of breaking up.
All right.
Go ahead. You sound good now.
Resume two. Denver Ed Martin is on Jack Johnson's resume. Who is Denver Ed Martin? Colored heavyweight champion of the world. Martin got victories over Frank Childs, who's the black heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Bob Armstrong. He beat Sam McVeigh, who's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame and the colored heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Gunbo Smith, who's the white heavyweight champion of the world. And then Jack Johnson beat that guy twice. Okay? And once on points and in this KO stoppage. But let's talk about who Rocky Marciano fought compared to Denver Ed Martin. Kako never won a major world title. There's nothing else to say about it. He's done. Done Kako did what? Absolutely nothing. So let's go to the third person on his resume, and then I'll pass to Rock. So those are three legacy defining fights. Klondike Hayes, black heavyweight champion, compared to Ronald Lastarza, who starred in the movies like Wild Wild West and Perry Mason and Batman. He got more goddamn movies than title fights. Okay? Denver Ed Martin, part of Black Murderers Row, against Don Kako, who never won a major world title ever. Never. Then we're going to go ahead and click it off with Sam McVeigh. Sam McVeigh is another member or part of the Black Murderers Row, and he's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He's a colored heavyweight world champion. He beat Denver Ed Martin, who's the colored heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Joe Jeanette, who's the colored heavyweight champion of the world and the IBF Hall of Famer. He also beat Arthur Pelkey, who's the white heavyweight champion of the world. He beat Harry Wells, who's the colored champion of the world, and got total of 25 defenses of the colored championship. Jack Johnson beat that guy 3 times. He beat him on points in 20. He beat him in points on 20, and then he KO'd him in 20 of 20. Because Jack Johnson was scheduling fights 20 rounders, not just 15 or 10 rounds. Because we already know that Rocky Marciano only got seven fights scheduled for 15 rounds because he's the world champion. Everything else before that was 10 rounders, 6 rounders, and 4 rounders, even the fight with Joe Louis, even the first fight with Lastarza. Okay? Lisa Vold. Lisa Vold is on Rocky Marciano's resume again. This is another guy he fought for a world title defense. Never won a major world title. And he fought the dude as well for 10 rounds. Fought Lisa Vold for 10 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So that was a 10-round fight, not a world title fight, but he fought him for 10 rounds, a 10-round scheduled fight. But Lisa Vold had never won the title ever. So when you start looking at the Black Murderers Row, because we're just clicking on Jack Johnson first run and who he fought and who he defended his title against in comparison to Rocky Marciano, 7 title defenses and some of the little guys down there where he fought for 10 rounders. Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll pass the rock. I yield the flow.
All right. Firstly, I mentioned Crunk, Jim, Manuel Stewart. I didn't just mention Cus D'Amato, and Cus D'Amato is great. I feel like, again, I didn't realize this was going to become a debate about semantics, right? But I guess now I have to define terms, the difference between a resume and a legacy, right? Because you're acting like a resume is a legacy, not just part of a legacy. Because resume can be included in a legacy, but that is not what a legacy is. A legacy is the things that you pass on. A resume, and by definition, is a document created that used by a person to present their background, skills, and accomplishments. That's what you're talking about. His background, his skills, and accomplishments. And legacy is defined by a long-lasting impact, events, actions that took place in the past or of a person's life. So what I'm talking about is the impact of these fighters, of his resume, of his fighting life, right? I'm talking about the legacy of Rocky Marciano. You are talking about the resume of Jack Johnson. That's just right now we are talking past each other. If you wanted to have a resume conversation, you could have just said, hey, let's have a debate about who has the better resume, instead of trying to couch it in this weird thing about legacy and then only talk about resume. Cool, that's fine. Just so you understand, you're factually incorrect when it comes to the to Rocky Balboa being the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2011. And if you want to talk about like using my words against me in order to undermine my argument, your argument is about like knockouts are supposed to be the thing that is most definitive and is the best thing about boxing. Well, Rocky Marciano, of his 49 fights, 46 of them knockouts. Like his entire mystique is around knockouts and punching power. Like I'm not quite sure what we're doing here. Like, but for real though, like if it was about who can have a better resume or not have a resume, Shane Mosley could have a better resume than Rocky Marciano. Marquez, could have a better resume than Rocky Marciano. They don't have a better legacy than Rocky Marciano though, and that's what I'm arguing: legacy, not resume. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna get to some more things. So let me drop a cool fact on you. So we talk about legacy, right? So how about being the first black heavyweight champion ever? But see, I can't say that because that would be a lie. Because you know why? The colored championship was already established. So what you're talking about is what you want to talk about. And we're not going to allow you to describe what you think a debate should be. I'm going to continue to present multiple things. We're just going through the resume. We know it's uncomfortable for you because Rocky Marciano's resume sucked. And you know what would be nice? Instead of you telling us about trainers and crunk gyms and posters on the wall and what the fuck Smoke think it's about, how about you just start telling us about the motherfuckers on his goddamn resume? How about that? I just named 3 of them that sucks, and you had no fucking rebuttal. That's where the problem's at, Smoke. What about Listarza? That's what we're asking you about. What about Kako? We ain't asking you about Costamato. Costamato can't fucking fight. So that's irrelevant. Let's keep on cooking. Resume 4. Joe Jeanette. 125 wins, 69 KOs, International Boxing Hall of Fame. Colored heavyweight champion of the world. Joe Jeanette victories are Sam McVeigh, Black Motorist Row, International Boxing Hall of Fame, colored champion of the world. Sam Langford, arguably the greatest boxer ever lived, International Boxing Hall of Fame, colored heavyweight champion, 5 times in a row, greatest pound for pound arguably ever. George Carpentier, International Boxing Hall of Fame, white heavyweight world champion. Arthur Pelkey, white heavyweight world champion. Jack Johnson beat Joe Jeanette 6 times. That's 6 International Boxing Hall of Fame fights just along with Joe Jeanette. That's more than your boy Rocky Marciano entire career. Okay, let's move on to the next person. Tommy Burns, International Boxing Hall of Fame, heavyweight champion. Run 13-1-1, 13 title defenses against 11 different boxers, 61 fights, 47 wins, 5 losses, and 9 draws. That's Tommy Burns. He beat Marvin Hart. He beat Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, who's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Notable contender, fireman Jim Flynn. You know who these guys are. Okay, I'll give you another quote. Let's say it like this. This is what your boy Wildcat said about Rocky Marciano. If I can't beat this bum, so we're talking about print and we're talking about legacy, because I'm giving you both. I already established what I'm giving you, so you're going to get resume quotes and some more other cool facts and shit about records too. Don't wait. Just wait till we get down to the white guys. If I can't beat this bum, take my name off the record books. I guess he can punch, but he's got 2 left feet. I say that again since we're talking about legacy and posters and print. If I can't beat this bum, take my name off the record books. I guess he can't punch, but he's got 2 left feet. So let's talk about Wildcat. I do it since you don't want to talk about him. True enough, Wildcat is in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, right? But guess how many times he lost the title? Let's look at it. He lost his world title shot against Joe Louis, split decision, 15 out of 15 rounds. He lost again to Joe Louis. He got stopped in the 11th of 15. Then he lost to Ezra Charles by UD 15 out of 15. Then this dude lost to Rex Lane in the UD in 10 of 10, a guy who never won a major world title. This is Jersey Joe Wildcat, the beloved Jersey Joe Wildcat, the oldest heavyweight champion ever to hold a title prior to George Foreman, and he's also the oldest to lose that shit. Okay? Again, he lost to Ezra Charles after Rex Lane in the UD 15-15. So this guy loses not one title shot, not two, not three, not four, but he lost 5 goddamn times. Then he finally wins the title shot against Ezra Charles after losing to Ezra Charles twice. He comes back, he beats him, he defends against Ezra Charles, and he won. That's 2 victories on the title side of the house. Then he turns around and he loses to Rocky Marciano by KO. Then lose to Rocky Marciano again in the first round by KO. Jersey Joe Wildcat title run is 2-6. 2-6. So yeah, let's just do exactly what he asked for. If I can't beat this bomb, take my name off the record books. I guess he can punch, but he's got 2 left feet. So yeah, let's do what he doing. Inject him and get his ass up out of here. So let's talk about some of the color line issues, because color line is part of the legacy or game-changing thing you want to present about. We could talk about the color line if you like. We can talk about quotes and things other than a resume, but I'm going to add resume in mine because your guy resume sucks, and we're waiting for a fucking response to all these bodies that I'm collecting about these shitty boxers that you got on Rocky Marciano resume. It's Rocky Marciano versus Jack Johnson. Mr. Smoke, you go around telling everybody how much of a monster you is, and you know so much. You know so this. Figure it the fuck out then. Since you so goddamn bad, figure this shit out. Don't complain. You're knowledgeable, supposed to be. Figure the shit out and get it done, motherfucker. Bob Fitzsimmons, International Boxing Hall of Fame, middleweight world champion. January 1891, September 1894, a 3-year fucking run at middleweight. Light heavyweight, November 1903, December 05, a 2-year run at light heavyweight. Heavyweight, March 1897, June to 1899, a 2-year run. Bob Fitzsimmons had a 3-year run at middleweight, a 2-year run at light heavyweight, and a 2-year run at heavyweight. He won a minor title in Australia. He's in the hold on. Let me get it. What he say he wanted, y'all? What he say he wanted, y'all? He said he wanted something outside of resume. Okay, let's do this. The Guinness Book of World Records for the lightest heavyweight champion ever at 165 pounds. He's the father of the solar plexus punch. That's what you want. That's what you're going to get. The first fucking Triple Crown winner in boxing history. What are you talking about? So let me equate that to my new guys who may be introduced to this for the first time. Let me talk to you real quick. So you know that guy named Roy Jones, right? Roy Jones won a title at 160. He won one at 75. That's a bad boy. Roy Jones is a bad motherfucker. We all love Roy Jones. He jumped up to light heavyweight and did the unthinkable. You know who did it first? You know who did it first without any transitional weight classes in the original 8 of 3? You know who was undisputed 3 times, the first Triple Crown winner, the same guy who was the lightest heavyweight champion in history in the Guinness World Record books, and the guy who invented the solar plate punches, or at least get the credit for it. Since we want to talk about legacy and posters, put this shit on your goddamn wall then. Put this on your wall. He's the first Triple Crown winner in fucking boxing history. Let's keep on going, though. It ain't over with. Boxing Fitzsimmons, his victories. Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, International Boxing Hall of Fame, light heavyweight champion. He beat Tom Sharkey, International Boxing Hall of Fame, heavyweight champion. James J. Corbett, he beat him. He's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, world champion. Dempsey, not Jack Dempsey, the other one. I'll let you figure out who the fuck that be. International Boxing Hall of Fame, middleweight champion. I got something else for you. 8 fights to the finish. What do I mean by 8 fights to the finish? Let me describe that to you guys for a little bit. So I told you earlier that Rocky Marciano only really went 15 rounds at the back end of his career. Bob Fitzsimmons had 8 fights to the finish. And let me describe them to you. September the 24th, 1887, he stopped the guy in 3. February the 22nd, 1890, he stopped the guy in 9. May the 29th, 1890, he stopped the guy in 10. So this guy had 8 fights to the finish. This is Bob Simmons now, Bob Fitzsimmons. This is the Triple Crown winner, the one that did it before Roy Jones, the one that Roy Jones broke his record, and the second person to technically do it. This is who had the record before Roy Jones, or who did it first before him. Also, Bob Simmons beat Chornosky, this notable guy, Chornosky, however you want to say it, the guy who they say trained Jack Johnson and gave him all this kind of advice. Man, Bob Fitzsimmons beat that guy so goddamn bad the police had to jump in, and that's recorded. He beat Joe Chornosky so bad the police had to intervene. Okay, and on top of them fights to the finish, he had 2 fights to the finish. He got not Jack Dempsey, but Napoleon's Jack Dempsey, and he in the Hall of Fame. He had 2 International Boxing Hall of Fame fights to the finish. So even in his fights to the finish, Bob Fitzsimmons had 2 International Boxing Hall of Fames within that 8. So out of the 8 guys that he had a fight to the finish, which is all stoppages, is 2 Hall of Famers within that. I yield the floor, man.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for the history lesson that I think the judges and I already had. You're just wasting our fucking time. Like, do I need to do the definition of history now? A study of past events, particularly in human affairs. I've got a resume. I've got history. I still don't have legacy. You've been bumping your gums, telling us a whole bunch of shit we already fucking know. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for the legacy debate. When you mentioned, I said you figure out who's better in the ring. Yeah, that's how you figure out who's better between fighters. That's not how you figure out who's better between resumes and whose legacy is the. Like, you can figure out who's better if 2 guys fight each other. Other than that, it's just conjecture. What you are doing is talking past the actual subject. And I don't know who it is I don't know who you're trying to convince or who you're trying to confuse or whatever the fuck. But since I understand English and the meaning of words, what you are talking about has absolutely nothing to do with what we're supposed to be debating. Like, with legacy is when I say something like the current heavyweight champions right now in 2023 are vying to match Rocky Marciano in his either retiring undefeated and undisputed, or retiring undefeated and unbeaten as a heavyweight champion and undisputed, right? But none of them, neither one of them, no matter who wins that fight and if they should immediately retire afterwards, are going to reach the 49-0. That is the enduring legacy that future heavyweight champions have to do. Now, if you want to keep delving on into the minutia of what the fuck happened a billion years ago, cool, I'm down for it. I love that kind of thing, but that's not the debate we're supposed to be having. Go con somebody else. Debate and switch is not happening here. You can get performative, you can get loud, you can tell us all kinds of interesting details, and maybe we can have an interesting details about resume conversation, but that's not the debate we're supposed to be having. We're supposed to be having a debate of a legacy. Are you going to ever start talking about that? Go ahead.
All right. So we got more.
Hold up. So we're going to break this down. So far, if we can just put this into a round, right? We are going to take everything that we just summarized or just heard, summarize this up into a round. And we're going to go around the panel and see how the panel is voting on this round. Since we had both Zone go twice and Smoke go twice, we're going to go around the clock clockwise. We're going to start with you, Wayne. Talk. What you got?
Okay, I'm gonna try to say I'm gonna say this. Rocky Balboa is in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Smoke, you said legacy is what you can pass on. Actually, legacy is anything from when you're first born until you're dead. It's a series of events. When you're born, that's an event. What you do in between born and dead, that's also it's considered an event. So your legacy is actually from when you're born until you die. So that's a legacy. But since Smoke really didn't give a lot of information in this round that we condensed it to, that we condensed it to, I'm gonna give it to Zone because he did present information. I just think
and before we go on,
same page of what y'all really.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me finish. I don't think y'all on the same page of what y'all want to debate. That's my confusion. Is what are y'all really debating? Because I seem like Smoke said he wanted to debate something different than what Zone is debating. So it's a little confusing. It really is. It's just a lot of. It was just a lot of information.
If I can interject here,
hold on, smoke. Hold on, wait.
Well, before we get, I just want to make a factual point. What he just said about legacy is not correct at all. Like, I'm just going by the definition. Like,
actually, I just seen the definition of legacy. Smoke.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. The long-lasting impact. The long-lasting impact of particular. You're holding on. I'm reading the definition like right now out loud. You telling me to hold on?
Wait. Smoke.
Taking my time.
Let the panel go.
All right, cool. Can I go after he's done, please? Can I go after he's done?
Yeah. You can go after.
Let us go through the panel.
I thought he was done. My bad.
No, come on. Let's go through the panel.
I read the definition.
Good, bro.
I got you, bro. I'm just gonna go after you're done.
Smoke. I read the definition because
hit mute. Smoke. Hit mute.
I read the definition because words do matter, and I wanted to be correct. And what the definition stated was legacy is not only what you can pass on. Legacy is also a series of events that can also extend to other things other than passing things on. Now, you was correct when you said legacy is about passing things on, but it also extends to events, which I said when you are born, that's a major event. When you die, that's a major event. What you do in between is also considered events, like if you graduate from high school, like if you have a child, your first child, your second child, your third, if you get a promotion at your job, all of that is considered your legacy. All I want to say. Go ahead.
All right. So wait. Wayne talk. So you're saying your vote for that round would be for Zone?
Yeah, that's my first vote for
Okay.
Right. If I can get in here, just for the other thing, just because I feel like at this point, there's facts that are not being agreed on, right? Because I'm looking at it saying the long-lasting impact of particular events, actions, etc., that took place in the past or of a person's life. The long-lasting impact. That's what we're talking about.
I got
the long-lasting impact, right?
So let me say this, Smoke. Let me say this. And I think that I can speak for the panel when I say this, that everything that can be discussed in this could be considered legacy. The only debate or the difference between what you and Zone are saying is how do we take it as it being in effect in their legacy? Because something that Zone says, just because he's saying it, whether it regards to resume or not, affects his legacy. It's just a matter of whether what you're saying is an effect on the legacy more so than what Zone is saying. That's all it is. That's it. That's the only difference, bro.
I don't think that is the only difference, though. I don't think that is the only difference. One is legacy. There's a difference between legacy and resume. And right now they're being conflated like they're the same thing.
No. But clearly your resume is part of your legacy.
Yeah, part of your legacy. It's not the end all and be all of your legacy.
I got you. And all you can do is present your argument about.
Right. I just want to make sure that we understand that legacy and resume are two actually different things.
Yeah,
that's it.
do smoke.
Okay, that's cool. That's it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Make your
boxologist. Go ahead. King G, what you got, bro?
All right. So honestly, bro, as I've been watching and listening at the time and everything, bro, I done literally just seen 3 rounds. Honestly, like a back and forth. Like, I was judging after Zone went and he went. I had like a first round thing. The second time, I didn't know if it was a rebuttal or not, but I still judged it. And then the third go around, I judged that. So it's been like, I don't know if this is like a 1 round situation, bro. We touch a lot of different things. But so I'm just gonna go down on what I got. All right. I thought Zone brought out a good point when he had brought out Marciano will only fight Johansson. He turned down the big fights with Liston and Patterson. He also thought Ali was bad for boxing. I had GTS bring out a good point when he was talking about the size metrics change, you know what I'm saying, that Rocky had presented. Also, somebody stuff. Okay. Rollo, mute your stuff for a sec, bro. Also, what GTS said, Ali, you know what I'm saying, that Rocky gives him his toughest fight, you know what I'm saying, kind of what Zone said, and he don't know if he could have beat him. I also thought it was a bad point of him bringing up him ducking a mongoose and how he had, you know, dropped Bingo. I know he brought out a point where he dropped Bingo in the first round. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a good point and a bad point for the simple fact I think he could have brought up better fighters that he could have, you know, beat and dropped or whatever. Zone brought up a good point when he was talking about how Rocky you know what I'm saying, about when he was like he had beat the first 3 of the 6 first heavyweight champs. That was a good point, but I thought he had a bad point when he brought up the color title at the time because Rocky could never defend for that. You know what I'm saying? But he also had brought out, you know, how Johnson had more fights than Marciano. I thought GTS had brought out a good point when he was talking about how you know, people had kind of market themselves off of the undefeated, you know what I'm saying, market is, you know, from that, you know, Rocky legend. And then he was bringing up the Rocky movie, you know, Legacy. But then Zone had brought out, you know, him, how he beat, you know, 9 Hall of Famers and Marciano beat 3 Hall of Famers. And he had 10 defenses to Marciano's 6 defenses. Then he had brought up another point where he said that he had an additional 8 defenses. You know what I'm saying? Then he also had brought up another point where it was like a 3-year reign for Marciano, and Johnson had a 5-year reign. Then he turned around and had a 6-year reign. So I thought that was real powerful. But then when they had did the rebuttal and the comeback or whatever, you know, he you know, Zone had, well, what's the name? GTS had reaffirmed, you know, how the trainers, you know what I'm saying, had gave, you know, Rocky a lot of accolades and stuff. And then he was brought out the definition of the resume and the legacy. And I know Zone had came back and he was talking about who you fight is important in your legacy. And then he also had brought up, you know, and who they fight, you know what I'm saying, what they accomplished in the ring was important. And he had brought out how, you know, Rocky, he wasn't the ABI International Boxing Hall of Fame. He was in the World Hall of Fame. But then GTS corrected him and told him that he was in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. I believe.
Box. I got you, Box.
No, I'm just going down how I'm judging it.
Listen, I know, but you're making this almost as long as the debate. Come on, bro.
No, I'm just explaining why. No, I'm just saying because I'm being fair.
I understand.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying.
We do have a debate to get to, and you are almost. I would almost have to put the timer on for you.
Hey, bro, honestly, I was just because we don't have a set time for anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I got you.
I don't know if that was a round or a few rounds or 2 rebuttals. I don't know. So I was just.
So we're saying everything that you just heard. Well, we just going to consider that a round. Who you got?
We got it. Right at the right time.
Okay, so when I calculated all the points, I tally up the point. Just making it quick. I had Zone bringing out 28 powerful points. I had GTS bringing out 12 powerful points. So I get that one to Zone.
Okay. Zone 6, you got 2. All right. We're gonna go clockwise. Blood boxing. What you got, brother?
Okay, man. Zone, do me one favor for me, man. How many defenses did you say Rocky Marciano had? Let's forget about the colored championship. Repeat what you said on the world championship level during the lineage of Rocky Marciano.
Rocky got 7 title fights and 6 defenses.
How many did Jack Johnson have?
Jack Johnson had, is you saying on the world color side?
No, on the world title, the same lineage as Marciano.
I think he said 8. I had him down there. He's saying 8.
He said 8, and that's not what it is. He made some mistakes, Smoke, that you should have capitalized off of. He said 8 defenses. Jack Johnson had 6 defenses. Zone also made a mistake when he said that Marciano fought Lisa Vole in a title fight. It was not a title fight. He fought Lisa Vole before he won the title. Okay. Now, the reason, Smoke, Zone made a lot of mistakes that you could have capitalized off of, right? He asked you about La Starza. The reason why La Starza got a fight against Rocky Marciano, because he kept asking you that and kept going into the movie shit, is because they fought twice. And the first time he fought Rocky Marciano, they had a split decision, and La Starza was rated by many newspapers to have beat and defeated Marciano. Not only that, he's a 5-time Golden Gloves champion. These are the kind of things that you would have wanted to bring up. Don Cockle, Zone ran him in the ground. Now, let's not forget that Don Cockle was a British and European champion, okay? Yeah, he was stopped by Randy Turpin, but he had a nice little run there as a British and European champion. There was not multiple belts at the time. Of course, there wasn't any for Marciano either, but there's a couple of other things too. Now, Marciano was not around during the same era as Klondike Haynes and those guys, right? You put Klondike Haynes versus La Starza, and then also you put Sam McVeigh and Denver Ed Martin versus Don Cockle, right? Now, Marciano, you can't penalize Marciano for the era that he fought in. Marciano, there was 3 Hall of Famers of significance in his era, and that's what you should have said, Smoke. There was Walcott, there was Ezra Charles, and there was Joe Louis. All those black champions wasn't around during Marciano's era, okay? You could have also said something like, well, he fought with the black fighter Hank Griffin. He lost 1, he had 2 draws. He was never able to beat Hank Griffin, Jack Johnson. He also lost to Joe Choinski, right? The same guy who got stopped by Barbados Walcott. He lost to he taught Jack Johnson how to box, but he lost the fight to him. He never avenged that loss. All right.
Wait, blood.
I mean, if we were to go into the intricacies of the resume, then I was talking about how when Jack Johnson supposedly got knocked out by Joe Choinski, the cops ran in. But I thought we were doing.
Slow down, blood.
Let Blood finish. He's giving out some good information. This is good information. Let him finish. Just let him finish.
Listen. Go ahead, Rilo. Blood. Listen, blood. You are giving out great. Listen, blood. You giving out debate information. Like I feel like all of this should be in the debate. It's almost
this is that came up that you could have capitalized on.
No, I understand, but this is almost as a cheat, this much of a cheat sheet as anything in any sport there could be. You're bringing up excellent shit that we would love to hear. It's just at the wrong time, blood.
But some of this is direct shit to what Zone said.
No, it is. That's why it's a bad time to be bringing it up. Like,
okay, I'll save some of
I'm having I don't know. I'm having a different conversation than you guys want me to go into the intricacies of his resume, and I'm talking about legacy. This is still just about resume.
We got you. We
that's all anybody cares about. Okay, I mean, why? If you wanted to have a conversation about resume, then why didn't you say, "Hey, let's debate resumes"?
Do you think Joe Choinski could beat Rocky Marciano?
Who was that question for?
Smoke. Do
I think Joe Choinski could beat Rocky Marciano? No, I don't think Joe Choinski could beat Rocky Marciano. I don't even think he really beat Jack Johnson. I think that was a setup. Like, if we want to talk about the intricacies of these fucking fights, it's not that I don't know it. It's just not the debate that we're supposed to be having.
Okay, well, what about Hank Griffin? He fought Jack Johnson 3 times, and Jack Johnson could never pull off a win against him, the black fighter, so that wouldn't have been no setup.
If we wanted to talk about who we think is better, if we want to have a conversation about who is better in history, then I would be all for this thing. But I thought we were supposed to be talking about legacy.
One more point, and I'm gonna save the rest till the end. But Bob Fitzsimmons, Zone gave you examples of 1890. He fought Jack Johnson 17 years later after that. 1907, 1890. That's 17 years of difference. This is Bob Fitzsimmons was an old ass man. Because you didn't make those because you didn't capitalize off of the resume, I'm gonna give it to Zone. But I thought Zone made a lot of mistakes.
I think Rallo, I think that's what Blood was just trying to say. He was just trying
to I got it. Yeah, absolutely.
He can't go back and re-say this stuff at the next level. Hold on, bro.
He didn't even get the defenses right. He just said 8 defenses. No, the black colored stuff don't matter with Marciano, because Marciano wasn't around when the Klondike Canes and them was around. He fought the guys of his significance, which was Joe Louis, Ezra Charles, and Walcott. There was no Klondike Canes and Jeanette and all them guys.
Bro,
I'm not gonna say no more, but I got
blood.
stuff.
Man, listen, man. I can't. You have to drop a video on this because you're bringing out so much good information that I actually would love to hear. But
Hey,
it's just
Rollo,
we're literally in the middle of a debate.
Rollo, you the moderator, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the second round, I want to have a distinct question for both of them. I want to know what they really are presenting. I need a question, and I need to know what they're presenting. Because the first one, I didn't know what they just started talking.
Now I got you. I feel you. Okay. So how about this? We're gonna go to Phil, and while that is going on, if you could come up with a question, that might help direct this second part of this debate.
All right, man.
All right,
can you
Phil,
hear me?
what you got?
Can you hear
Loud
me
and
loud and
clear.
clear?
Loud and clear.
All right. So check this out. This is the first thing right here. If your name ain't Rollo Jenkins, or get the smoke or zone, make sure you mute yourself. If you're a judge, okay, take yourself off of mute when you're making your points, okay. And if your name ain't Rollo Jenkins, don't jump on the screen and say nothing, okay? Because I want to hear exactly what it is Blood is saying, and I want to hear what Rollo is saying, okay? The only time our mic should be unmuted is when we giving our decision on who we think the round goes to. All right? Now, let me say this right here. Zone did make several mistakes, as my man Blood mentioned earlier. I don't have to go into the details that Blood did, but Zone did make some mistakes and get the smoke. I don't know if he was just so focused on trying to get the point out that, hey, we're debating resume and all this other kind of stuff. I don't know if that kind of sidetracked him, but in my own personal opinion, resume is also a part of your legacy. I just think that was the key points that Zone wanted to bring out in this particular round. So he focused on that. My man Smoke, you could have focused on anything else that you wanted to. I just think maybe you got sidetracked. Maybe it was some confusion about what the initial debate was supposed to be about. I don't know, but the truth of the matter is, Zone said some things that you could have capitalized on, and the rebuttals were there. And I know you know the information, Smoke. So for me personally, what I did was I gathered all the information that I had, and I was looking for you guys to bring out these particular points in order to get my vote, along with some stuff maybe that I didn't research myself personally. So I think for the simple fact that Zone just put out more information in that first round than get the smoke, the round goes to Zone. But as my man Blood said, it was a lot of information that Get the Smoke could have capitalized on if you wouldn't have been so focused on resume. You know, it's your time. You can get up there. You can talk about whatever you want to. You understand what I'm saying? So like I said, the first round goes to Zone 6. Get the Smoke. The information was there. I think you had opportunities to capitalize because Zone did make several mistakes, as my man Blood said. You know, but at the end of the day, we're gonna move on to round two. Right. Everybody, please respect please hold on, Smoke. Everybody, please respect the moderator, and when people are giving their votes, please mute your mic. Don't jump in. Thank you.
Right. So again, like for me and this whole thing, like if you'd have said to me, hey, we're gonna have a debate about people's resumes, that'd have been cool. Then I would, and if I'd known that you guys don't even know what the debate's supposed to be about, then maybe I would have even engaged a little bit more. But I thought everybody was on the same page that this was supposed to be a debate about legacy. Yeah, we could say whatever the fuck we want, and you can judge. We can start talking about marshmallows versus chocolate, and you guys can judge that. Or who brings out more facts about something that we're not even supposed to be debating, to me, is not what this is supposed to be about. But just straight up, like if I could start talking about how the guys that Jack Johnson fought, all those Philadelphia Jack O'Brien and Tommy Burns were like lightweights and middleweights and shit like that. But what the hell does that got to do with legacy?
I got you, Smoke. So let me say this.
What are we doing right now?
I got you. So let me say this
Smoke,
to you.
I just described what I said.
So let me say this to you, Smoke. So hear me out, Phil. You present your argument. It's up for us to decide whether you are presenting an argument based on the subject that y'all said, which is legacy. Now, if Zone goes 99% resume, that's on Zone, because clearly what we're saying is you're bringing up a legacy argument. So your point to, like, the point of contention here is for you to bring up your argument for Marciano about his legacy. Don't worry about resume. Don't worry about that shit, because it's up to you to bring up the point about Marciano's legacy.
Correct. This is what I did. I didn't hear a single.
Don't worry about what Zone is saying. You keep talking about what Zone is saying.
Correct, because I'm losing. Right, because you guys are talking about what Zone said. You guys aren't talking about legacy at all.
Listen,
you guys are talking about the nuances of whether or not he got even the resume correct.
I got you. So what you need to do is present a point.
No, what we need to do is have a debate about resumes.
Let's move on.
That's what we need to do. What we need to do is stop acting like we have a debate about legacy and have a debate about resumes.
Smoke.
Like the guy, listen, one of the judges didn't even notice what the first round was supposed to be about in these judges.
The resume is part of the legacy, Smoke. You know,
yes, part of legacy. He's saying that it is the legacy.
So hold on, man. Hold on. 1 second. Let me jump in. Let me jump in real quick, Rollo. 1 second, because I'm a judge. This is what I'm telling you, Smoke. Okay. Title defenses, resume, all these things are bullet points of what Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano's legacy is. Okay. You cannot create a legacy without events within the time frame. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we're narrowing it down through the boxing forum, okay, about what these guys accomplished while they were active fighters, okay? Who these guys fought is a part of their legacy. This is why when people say, is this a legacy-defining fight? That is a big term in boxing. A legacy-defining fight is directly linked to your resume. So what I'm saying is this right here. Zone decided to focus on resume of part of his legacy debate and get the smoke. I think that you are so caught up that Zone spoke about the resume so heavily that you don't even realize that, hey, let me just bring out my point. Let me talk about what it is that I want to talk about, and let Zone focus on what Zone wants to focus on. It's going to be hold on, Smoke. It's going to be more than one round. And right now, what we're doing is we're having a banter about you complaining what Zone discussed. That's Zone shit.
That's not what we're having a banter about, bro. Like for real, like what your opinion about like where I'm confused and what like the meta thing. That's not what's happening. What's happening is holy Christ, man. Like
stop. Everybody go on mute. Everybody go on mute. Everybody go on mute. Everybody go on mute. Everybody just go on mute for a second, because we are literally going on about what you two should be debating about. And the debate is whatever you want to bring, however you want to bring it. Now, if, like Phil just said, if Zone want to talk about resume and that's all he want to talk about, that's his prerogative. You can't complain about what Zone is talking about, Smoke. I don't understand that.
Okay,
so
if I can speak uninterrupted. I came here for a debate about legacy, not whatever it is Zone wants to talk about, and then me rebut. This he said, wait, do you want to have he challenged me to a debate for Undisputed about legacy. I get here and it turns into a debate about resume. Can resume be part of your be part of your legacy? Of course, can I finish my thing? I'm almost done. Legacy can be a part of your legacy. Hold up a second. Can I finish? You're not done. So you don't understand because I haven't said my point yet.
Because you're saying the same thing.
I was saying. Okay, hold up a second. I'm trying to get on the same page so we can continue and have a productive conversation and not just talk past each other. And can I just get my thing? Can I just get my thought out, please? Like, here's
you're gonna have a whole 10 minutes to say everything you want to say.
Oh God, now okay. Can I please get my yes or no? Can I get it out?
Smoke, just calm down.
I just want to get it out. I'm asking you a yes or no question. Can I finish my? Can I land my plane without you interrupting? Yes or no?
Just let him get it out, please. Just let him get it out. Just let him get it out, and after you get it out, let the moderator take back control and give clarity on what the next round exactly is going to be around, if it's going to be a rebuttal, and what the next round after that is going to be about, so everybody understands and knows what's going on. Please, Smoke, get your thought out, and then please pass the rock to Rollo so he can get back to moderating and give everybody clarity on the next 2 rounds on this debate. Go ahead, bro.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Right. So when having a discussion about legacy, yes, your resume can be part of the legacy, right? Definitely can be. But it's supposed to be the rest of your legacy, not just a part of it. It's supposed to be about the ongoing impact. What is the ongoing impact of Jack Johnson versus Philadelphia Jack O'Brien? I'm not hearing this. I'm not hearing the arguments. I'm not hearing the argument being made, and I'm not hearing that discussion being judged. What I hear being judged is whether or not he got resume points correct, which is cool if we're having a conversation about the resume, but what is the lasting effects of this resume? He hasn't talked about it all. All I've been talking about is the lasting effects, and then maybe we can get into the nuances of the resume. Like I said, I brung up a guy when it comes to like the gazelle punch, right? A huge punch in boxing. Where does it start from? Rocky Marciano. I'm talking about the legacy, the impact of what happened in the ring. That's not what's being discussed now. But what's being discussed is how many title defenses did he get the number correct? I guess we could do that. Like I said, if that was the conversation, if that's what the debate was supposed to be having about, like, like the strength of schedule and strength of resume, then I would be fine with that. And or if this resume was somehow linked to the legacy, like how this is impacting the sport or whatever, not just saying he fought a guy and that guy was in the Boxing Hall of Fame, and also giving Jack Johnson credit for the shit that Bob Fitzsimmons did. Like,
Smoke, he made at least 20 points that you could have capitalized off.
I know. If I was to have a conversation about resume, then I would have. But the thing is, I don't want to have a conversation about resume, or else I would have come for a conversation about resume. I came for a conversation about legacy.
All right, but
let's get on to the next round, y'all.
Okay. Get a rock back to Rollo.
No, fuck that, man. Nah, fuck
Phil.
I ain't letting them do it. I'm gonna ask him a simple question, bro.
Phil, hold on. Phil. We're trying to get through this.
I need to ask him a question, though.
Because ask him a question, man.
Phil, we're trying to just get through. Listen, Phil, trust me, brother.
I got one question for
Phil. Wait, Phil. Listen. We have to listen. Because every pit stop we got to get to,
Phil. Every pit stop we make. Let me ask my question, bro. Let me ask my question. We can move on. I got one question.
We got to move on, man. It's taking a long time.
I got it, bro. Let me ask my fucking question. I could have been asked it.
Phil,
get the
smoke. Go on and on.
Get the smoke. Get the smoke.
Just let him ask the question, man.
Thank you. Jesus fucking
We got 3 hours for this. We're gonna like 2.5 hours left. Let's go.
Okay, get the smoke. Is resume a part of legacy? Yes or no?
A part of legacy? I already said it was.
Okay, we can move on. See how easy that was? Let's go.
Can I present the second question?
You know what the rest of that thing is, though? It's the lasting impact of your resume.
Smoke. Listen, if I'm gonna be the moderator,
you got it, bro.
If we have to have a moderator, come on, because the point of this is to make it flow. So the reason why I wanted to stop you, Smoke, because everything you just said prior to this would have been a good point for your debate, but you had to get it out at that time. So listen. How we're going to move forward, we're going to let the panel ask a question, a very specific question, and give you a certain amount of time to answer that question. We're going to start with Wayne talk. Ask your question, brother, and we're going to give guys 10 minutes to answer the question.
This is enough. This is a botch. This is terrible. This is embarrassing. This is not what I was looking forward to. First off, you got to show up on time. That's first off. Second of all, I've been communicating this shit through text message just for the audience, man, because this shit is trash. This for the audience. I've been communicating with this guy for over a week about this shit. I knew this was going to happen. This is his style. This is what he's known for. He come in, he know exactly. All of a sudden, you're not smart enough to understand what the fucking debate's supposed to be about. But you're so smart in other places. You do this every fucking time, Smoke, and this shit is getting old. You know that resume is a part of the fucking legacy. I didn't even get to finish my shit, dog. You don't know what I had on the back end, but since it's like that, I ain't fucking with it. Then, blood, you want to give out tips. You want to debate me so goddamn bad with the shit. I understand pointing out the flaws, but we're in the middle of a debate, and you giving this motherfucker pointers. That's it. That ain't how that go, dog. If you want to critique me, that's fine. I don't have a problem. But you can't do it at the expense of giving him.
I will in my post-fight show.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm with that. And I made mistakes to see what's he going to do. I kept calling him out to address those issues. I said it. Even when I said the Savone thing, I corrected myself. I wanted to see was he going to say something about the resume. He didn't do it. So all the information that you guys took notes on, I got the same shit right here. I'm trying to see if he gonna have enough wherewithal to at some point stop complaining about the fucking debate and debate me like a fucking man. But he won't even do that.
I'm still here. You just yelling. I'm still here. I'm wondering if you gonna and your council of judges are going to actually judge the debate was supposed to be happening. I asked you about the format. I asked you about the format earlier. You didn't. You said wait till everybody gets here, and then you just launched in. I don't know the format. The judges don't know.
Fuck him. I'm done. See, now y'all, see, this is why niggas don't do this YouTube. Fuck him. I'm done. Because you know why? Because he full of shit. He do this on every platform. And I'm sick of this shit, dog. Get him the fuck up out of here. And that's some bullshit. Because y'all trying to say this motherfucker. Let him cook. Let me make whatever I'm going to make. And let him make whatever he want to make. He's consistently complaining about the debate. People listen to this shit, and this shit is trash. This ain't even, I don't even count this shit, man. Y'all got it, man. Y'all niggas got it, dog.
Hey, man, let me say something real quick, man. First and foremost, as a judge, you know what I mean? Again, man, I think, you know, as judges, we need to obviously make sure we have the information at hand. You understand what I'm saying? And obviously, you know, boxologist, you made your bullet points and you had got your point system. Blood, you also did the same thing. But in the grand scheme of this thing, man, just give a quick little synopsis of who you picked and why you picked them. You understand what I'm saying? Because, again, you can't be giving pointers and shit during the debate. And box knowledge, you can't take 45 minutes to issue your decision, man. You know, this thing needs to flow smoothly. Even with myself, man, I had complications getting on earlier, right? So my apologies for that, right? So that's a fuck up on my part, you know, because that ain't how I roll. But at the end of the day, this should have went a whole lot smoother than what is going right now.
Yeah, just open it up. Smoke, what you want to look, man? Smoke, let's finish this shit. You got Rocky Marciano. I got goddamn Jack Johnson. Let's dance. Please don't describe shit about what I'm talking about. Mind your business and say what you want to say about Rocky Marciano. We all ears. I don't want to hear no excuses. Go ahead.
Do you want to do a rematch?
Man, talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, now I am talking. I'm asking if you want to do a rematch and we can redo this thing. Hey,
no
like,
you got your ass cooked.
Okay, now you want to congratulate yourself. You don't want a rematch.
Go ahead.
Hey, you said it's a clusterfuck. You said you're done with it. You said it's over with and done with. I'm saying, hey, let's run it back with the actual instead of like trying to doing this a weirdo like
smoke. He said it don't count. Chill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's do a rematch. That's what I'm saying. Let's do a rematch.
It don't count, bro.
Ain't no rematch shit. It's just we can discuss it now. Everybody on the goddamn line. Everybody want to fucking sound smart. Everybody want to talk about Jay Johnson. So niggas, go ahead and talk about Jay Johnson.
I think I have a really good question. I think I have a really good question for both guys.
Well, it's over for now. It's a panel now. Fuck it, because the debate over with. Y'all don't help him out. He didn't capitalize. That's not my fucking fault.
I didn't give any pointers. I addressed what you said.
Man, dude, you gave this man 3.
Hey, let me say something real quick. Some
mistakes. I pointed them out.
That's cool.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. Hey, I'm gonna say this. Legacy is a broad thing. What y'all should have did was say, okay, we're gonna debate legacy. Let's debate.
No.
Let's debate resume.
See, listen. When you debate,
hold on. Let me finish. When you say you want to debate a legacy, you got to break it down into integrals. You got to say, okay, let's bet. Okay, the first round we're gonna debate resume. The second round we're gonna debate impact.
Wayne. How are you confused? Nobody should be confused here. Wait. Nobody here should be confused about anything. When you have a debate, it's up to the person who's debating to present their case however they feel. Zone is absolutely correct in that. So if Zone is saying some shit that he don't think is correct, it's up to him in his debate to talk about the shit that Zone is saying that's not the fucking subject of the fucking debate, or to point out the mistakes that he's making in the debate. Not about whether he's debating the right thing or not. And it's up to Smoke to present the best case for Marciano. And presenting the best case for Marciano is not talking about what the fuck Zone is talking about. That is how a debate goes. You get to say whatever the fuck you want to say. If you on topic or off topic, it's up to you, the debater, not the other motherfucker. It's up to you, the debater.
Yeah, the confusion came in when
it shouldn't be no confusion.
Hold on, Rollo, chill. The confusion came in when Get the Smoke said, this is not what we're supposed to be debating. We're supposed to be debating this. See, and when he said that, that's where the confusion came in for either one, it could be a judge, or one, it could be a spectator.
So were you confused?
When in truth, let me finish. When in truth,
I'm asking you, Phil, were you confused?
No, I'm not confused.
And that's the point that I'm making.
And that's what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. When in truth, whenever you're debating a legacy, you cannot tell me at which part of this man's career to start off my conversation with. If I want to go backwards and work my way down the line from when he first debuted, that's my business. If I want to start in the middle and work my way from the back up to the beginning of his career, that's my prerogative. If I want to start with the resume, okay? If I want to start about tearing Rocky Marciano down on my end, then that's my prerogative. You know, Zone could have came out the gate and just fucking destroyed Rocky Marciano and just talk about how he think he ain't shit, or he don't compare up to Jack Johnson. That's on Zone and how he does it. So at the end of the day, I don't think it was any confusion. I think mainly Smoke just didn't like the manner in which Zone presented his argument at the beginning. That's my own personal opinion.
No, for real though. Like, really, it is really my issue is. I don't like the way that everyone is ignoring what the fuck legacy means, and they're just saying like it's put like the resume is just part of it. That's really what my issue is. Like, I don't give a shit about like who wins a round or anything, as long as we're talking about the same fucking thing. That's it. That's it.
You just agree.
But no one told me it's 3 rounds. Here's the other thing. I asked what the format was. Nobody says 3 rounds. Nobody said you get to do this one and then the next thing, the next thing. I literally said, how are we going to do this? And he said, wait, you'll find out.
Okay.
So for me, I thought we were about to have a conversation about a thing. I didn't know there was going to be 1 round and then we could go into other things and all this stuff. I thought I'm preparing for a thing. I'm preparing for a debate about legacy. Not the legacy about the legacy and parts and shit.
Just remember this. Just always present your case.
I did present my case.
I'm gonna be listening in, man. Y'all don't need a judge. I can just listen to this shit, bro. I'm out. Zone, I'm gonna be listening in, bro.
Don't worry about what Smoke or Zone or whoever you're debating is saying, because what if they're saying the wrong shit, you just gotta stay on the right shit.
That's what I did.
No,
I literally said right through the thing that what he was talking about was about resume. I'm talking about legacy, and then started talking about more about legacy, and then he started talking about history. I went right back to legacy.
But listen, Smoke,
and like nobody just did. People still talking about his resume shit.
I got you. I'm just giving you a pointer. If I'm ever a judge,
I'm just telling you I did it. The pointer you're giving me is what I did.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you is, if I was a judge, because I wasn't in this one, all I would have needed you to do is present your case about Rocky Marciano. And you spent more, because that wasn't even part of a debate making the case for anything, talking about whether we were debating the right or wrong thing. And you
that's
spent a lot of time on that.
Bro, I literally let this dude...
Smoke, let me speak, bro. I ain't spoke yet,
bro.
Go ahead.
You got it.
So the problem is, if we talking about, at the end of the day, we all know it's a legacy debate about Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano. And because no specifics was given in the very start of, as in the form of a question saying, hey, all right, look, we about to debate who had the better resume, or fucking who made the most money, who had the most knockout. It wasn't a specific question. So we understand, hey, look, okay, when it's my turn to go, I'm going to talk about the legacy of my fighter in whichever way I want to. Now, if my opponent is talking about fucking Barney and Twinkle Toes and Teletubbies and Power Rangers or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to spend half of my round speaking about what my opponent. He talked about Teletubbies. I'm just going to keep talking about my fighter's legacy and the flaws of my opponent's fighter's legacy. It doesn't, but And that's what we're trying to tell you, like, bro, there's no point of harping on how he's, you know what I'm saying, he's steering his ship when it comes to his fighter's legacy against your fighter's legacy. You just steer your ship when it comes to your fighter's legacy and his fighter's legacy. And if you would have focused on that, you may would have caught the points that Blood was saying that you missed. I didn't want to bring out anything to help anybody. That's why I just recapped exactly what I saw and the specific points each person made out, and why I judged it fair because of the points of the legacy, you know what I'm saying, of how y'all bringing it out. However y'all bring it out is how y'all choose it, but I'm going off of the points y'all making for the legacy of the fighters and the rebuttals that y'all making as well. And that's what you should have focused on, just the legacy.
Okay. Again, that's what I did focus on, was the legacy. I didn't spend half of my time harping on this thing. I pointed out that what he was talking about was not what the debate was supposed to be about. I didn't know that we were going to be doing separate rounds and going to be doing multiple rounds of the thing, because when I asked about the format, I was told to wait. I was going to be told later. So for me, I was sitting here going, when are we going to have a discussion about legacy? I expressly didn't want to go down the resume path unless I had to, because for me, that's not the conversation that we're having. And let me finish. Let me finish. The only way that
we're not gonna do this shit. We ain't finna let nobody talk over me on this shit, because you guys been talking for over fucking an hour about nothing. The fact of the matter is, y'all need to tell this son of a bitch what it is. He just was getting his ass thrashed on resume. He know Rocky Marciano can't fuck with Jack Johnson. He had no rebuttals. He was not prepared. And he want to come on here with the description. Like I tell y'all, Smoke do this shit every fucking time, bro. He described the debate instead of answering questions, bro. Like, this is what this dude do. And he didn't know that I was going to come out hammering his ass. Blood already gave the motherfucking cues. He could have said, let's go to the second round. And he could have even used the shit Blood gave him. But he full of shit because he don't know how to debate. He's overrated, man. Get him the fuck up out of here.
Hold on. Zone.
Hold up. How did my thing get cut off for this guy to just to insult me and then go off the thing? Like in the middle of me talking about what my issue is, right? Like, my issue is, first off, the judges some of the judges didn't even know what some of the judges didn't even know what the fucking one of the judges didn't even know what the topic was, right? That's I didn't know that there was going to be multiple rounds. I like for real. It's not like I sat there.
You selected the judge with me. What the fuck did you
correct? I didn't. Selecting the judge doesn't mean that I informed him what the fucking subject was going to be. He didn't know what the subject was. I don't have a problem with him as a judge. Okay, again, I don't have a problem with Wayne Talk as a judge. I like Wayne Talk as a judge. I like him as a judge. I'm glad he's a judge. I just wish he was informed. I just wish Wayne Talk was informed as to what the subject we're debating was, because he said he didn't know.
Okay, here's
my problem. I've been putting it.
Okay, great. He said he didn't know.
Zone, Smoke. Let me get 2 seconds.
If I can just land my plane, I don't know why every time I do a thing, everybody gets to land their plane. I can't get my shit out. Like, bro. Okay, hold on. I guess good, cool. If I'm the whipping boy, like, it's all my bad. I just don't understand shit. Like, you guys can keep playing me. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But here's what it is going on. You try to pull a bait and switch con job. Tell me you're gonna talk about legacy. Don't tell me what the format is, and then you start talking about resume. Like, resume equals legacy. Resume is part of legacy. The way that I was using resume was to inform the guy's legacy, to talk about the guys that he fought and the lasting impact of those fights. Because that's how you use resume to talk about legacy. But what you guys were talking about was just whether or not he made mistakes when talking about a resume.
Here's the thing: you should have presented that in your opening. See, this is
I did.
Listen to what I'm saying, dude. The same way I laid a premise on everything that I was gonna cover, I go back and say it again, just so we can get clear. Let's slow it down. So we all friends here. We're not. Let's just get the structure right.
That's just frustration. That's all.
Yeah. Let's just revisit so we can get this shit right. This is good practice here. I'm not offended by it. Fuck it. Okay. So what I said was, to Blood, let me make this clear to you, because you kept asking the same thing. Wayne Talk, you kept asking the same thing. And then Smoke murked up the waters by throwing a smoke bomb in here saying he don't know what's going on. I said in the intro, I'm going to discuss the basic numbers just as a base comparison between Jack and Rocky. Another bullet point, I'm going to say it again. I said I will compare the resume fighter by fighter. I even gave you the courtesy of going first so that you could take fucking notes. You ain't even on camera. So you could take notes just like 86 had to. Now let's get this shit straight now. I then said a third point. I said I will deep dive into the records set by the opponents of each boxer's resume, along with who they fought to give them credibility as boxers. That's 3. And I'm going on. I said I will use quotes to validate the impact or influence of the fighters on their resume. I then said, overall, I will present and compare the accomplishments and accolades of both fighters and their opponents. I said the objectives will be to prove that Jack Johnson has a better legacy than Rocky Marciano based on logic and tangible evidence. So where the confusion at, everybody? Where the confusion at? Can somebody explain? I don't know. Fuck that. I want to hear where the confusion is after I just said that slide. Everybody got a lot to say. Tell me where the confusion is.
Well, you didn't say that it's going to be round.
You, man. I'm talking to the other people. I'm talking. You had your chance. I'm asking the judges.
Shit, I thought I was going to answer a question. I didn't know it was just for everybody else, but me.
I'm asking the judges. And all the people who's confused. I'm just asking the people on the panel. What was confusion about what I just said when I laid out my premise in that first fucking slide and I went first?
Hey, can I
you can get it, but I'm asking these guys on the panel. I'm asking them first. If they don't want to say anything, then you can have it, Tony. And I laid it out clearly with a slide. So tell me where the confusion is on my end and why Smoke fucking don't understand.
There was no confusion from me.
Okay, Tony, go ahead. Go ahead, Tony.
So my thing is this. I'm listening to what Smoke is saying, and I think this is the disconnect. Because I want this shit to continue because this shit's entertaining outside of what just happened over the first round judging. So here's the deal. Smoke, both of y'all are arguing legacy. You're arguing the lasting impact of what Marciano did, which is a part of your legacy. But also what is a part of your legacy is who you fought, who you beat, and what you did to build a legacy. So here's the thing. Y'all have 2 different points y'all are making, but y'all are arguing for the same thing. So at the end of the day, since y'all's points are different, whoever makes the better point wins the round, wins the debate. And that's where your disconnect is with him. He's arguing legacy as in resume. You're arguing legacy as in how long it lasted, the effect of it. But your job is to prove your point better than he's proving his point. And they felt like from my ears, he proved his point better.
I think really what it is I think the disconnect is the disconnect is coming from the idea that your resume, the legacy of your resume is the lasting impact, not just that it happened.
Hey, salute the historians, OG, salute the Zone, salute the Smoke. Y'all was cooking. I thought both of y'all were coming from different angles, which made it great. Zone was cooking on like this the history of Jack as far as his wins, his losses, the color line, and then Smoke came with like that influence in boxing. Only reason like I would have said Smoke did get the first is because of there weren't any faults in what he brought, what he wanted to bring, and he left it for the judges to like critique if Zone was wrong. You see what I'm saying? So if Smoke came from that angle, that the Cuz D'Amato impact, the Crunk Jim impact, and there aren't any flaws in that, then that's why I'm like, yeah, Smoke got that round. And then you Zone, you ended off with the Jersey line, the Jersey Joe Walcott line, and then I thought y'all was gonna cook from there. I'm expecting Smoke to talk about the knockout, that infamous knockout that he had. It was definitely great. Y'all should rematch. Definitely rematch. Different weight class, whatever y'all want to do it, but definitely, it was good. It was good for my opinion.
Bro, and that's what this is what they don't understand. I'm trying to also, because this is what I'm saying to me, and I'm not going to, it's going to be done because I see I can't do it with these guys. What I'm trying to do is, it's too many eggheads. There's a guy out there that hasn't been introduced to Rocky Marciano or Jack Johnson. What I am doing is I'm fighting the world too far. I'm trying to entertain. I'm also trying to enjoy a combative type of debate with my boy Smoke and have credible judges on here to analyze it. But I also have to consider the audience. I also have to start with somewhere this basic. So to suggest that I shouldn't or it's improper to bring up the resume, man, you got to think about everybody out here. Everybody's not a fucking self-proclaimed historian, dog. It might be a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. Some of my friends listening to this for the first time, and I got to present resume so they can understand the contextual argument that we're having. And we're sitting here and Smoke, you piss me off, bro, because you do this shit every time. Every time I have a conversation with you, you try to talk about I'm double talking, there's a trap for you. But did you consider the fact that I'm considering other people who never have heard of Jack Johnson? And I'm not trying to trap you all the time. This is not a fix, man. Like, and I'm just sick of you saying that shit, dog. Like, you heard the terms. I got the text messages here. I sent it out to you guys for the last week on what it is. And I asked, were there any other questions before we start, bro? I've been asking y'all to get on here and flex like that. That's some bullshit, dog. I don't have no respect for you in that regard because you do this shit all the time, man. You gotta stop doing that shit. Like,
okay, so here's the disconnect between you and me, our communication style. You think that I can read your mind and I know what the fuck you're talking about, even though a reasonable person interprets what you're saying totally differently, right? So that is what's happening. Like right now, I thought we were going to, like, for real, like straight the fuck up. If you would have said to me, we're going to have a conversation about legacy, and it's going to be 3 rounds, and you can talk about whatever it is you think that goes into legacy, I'd be like, okay, cool, got it. But if you just go, we're going to have a conversation about legacy, I'm like, okay, cool. We'd have a conversation about legacy. We have a debate about legacy. Jack Johnson versus Rocky Marciano. I'm looking at what legacy means and the difference between legacy and resume. Like, yes, resume is a part of legacy, but there's a difference between resume and legacy, right? The difference between resume and legacy is the things that carry on from your resume, that for future generations, right? That's the passing on shit. That's what I thought. So that's how. All I'm saying is that's how I interpreted the question. I wasn't trying to derail anything. I wasn't trying to do anything other than have a spirited debate about what the fuck the subject was supposed to be.
Come on, I knew we were going to get here, so I'm not surprised. That's why it's over.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because you have some private fucking definitions for shit that you should share with people. Maybe that's the issue.
You should have laid everything that you're saying now, right? Everything you're saying now could be a very good point. You should have laid that out before, because we talked.
How would I know this is going to happen? You're the one who knows it's going to happen, so why didn't you lay it out before?
No.
Why didn't you give me the format? You knew this was going to happen, like, bro. Like, I'm accepting a challenge about Rocky Marciano versus Jack Johnson's legacy. That's it.
And me and you discussed the terms.
The terms of the judges. That's the term.
All right, he lying, so I'm finna have to get rid of him. I ain't fucking with no liar. All right, go ahead, Jedi. I'm not finna fuck with a guy who lied, because I got the fucking text message right here. Let me look at it. Let's do this, because I'm sick of this shit. Where motherfuckers, I hate when dudes do this shit. Here's the text message right here, guys. Here's one. I don't know if you can see that, but that's one for today. That's one for today. I'll put these shits out on my fucking page. I'm gonna read this shit. Today at 9:43 a.m., I reminded everybody, ZONE6 versus Smokes, May the 28th, 3 p.m. on his time, platform, location, moderators, judges. And I asked him, I've been asking him, is there anything else he wanted? So the point of the matter is, I know what it is. He got his ass cooked. He don't know the fucking resume, and he lying, because if he knew the fucking resume, his ass would have fucking goddamn defended it and pointed out all those shits that Blood told him he should have pointed out. He's a fucking liar. He don't know what the fuck you talking about. Talking about I could if I would. No, motherfucker, you would. You don't know what you're talking about. And y'all guys think Smoke is some kind of animal, man. He ain't shit. Period. Go ahead, Jedi.
I just want to say he agreed to it. If there is no resume, there is no legacy. Because if there's no resume, how do we record in order to recall the legacy? You understand? So there's nothing about he wasn't informed. It's a debate. This shit came up. It used to come up in a lot of fucking tables, a lot of debates where a resume was thrown out in order to talk the legacy. So that's a bunch of bullshit, man. Listen. Zone 1, hands down, you know what I'm saying? Keep the debates going, bro. Keep them nice and healthy. Blood didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? He laid it out. Just to point out the mistakes. And I know Zone Zone had a game plan where he was going to say shit on purpose. I'm more than sure Blood didn't know about that, so that's really nobody's fault. In order for him to correct it. Now we know on the next debate against somebody, we don't do that. We allow them to correct it. But you know what I'm saying? If like I said, if there's no resume, there is no legacy. Because if there was no resume, we couldn't record it. To recall it.
Cool. So you call me a liar, which I don't really appreciate. And then if you're gonna call me a liar, why don't you bring the?
All right, man. I'm done with him, man. He lied too much. That's over with, man. I ain't fucking with. I ain't finna fuck with no lame ass YouTuber, bro. That's one thing I ain't finna do. I'm not finna reduce myself down to that. By first time live next day, I'm not finna do that. That's lame as fuck because you know the truth. Anybody else got anything to say? I'm done. Don't want to hear shit about Smoke name ever again. I'm not fucking with
Hey
it.
man, I just want to say, man, thanks for having me as a judge, bro, and thanks for just having me on the platform, period, bro. For what it was, bro, I think a lot of great information came out, especially on Jack Johnson's end. But I think it was interesting, man. I saw 3 rounds at the end of the day. I saw 3 rounds. You feel me? Of a back and forth, man. And I definitely appreciate the knowledge and wisdom, both you brothers have, and what you have brought out, man. And it was for the most part, it was a great experience, man, and it was great information that came out, man. You know what I'm saying? So bless you, brother. Bless the platform, man. Subscribe to Zone 6, Zone Enforcer, man. Subscribe to Blood Boxing, Retro Boxing. And yeah, man, I'm out, man. Appreciate you having me, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna lock it in with our crew a little bit more tighter, man. Because these trying to fellowship with all these other motherfuckers, they too high off YouTube and shit right now. I don't know what the fuck that shit be about. But we do this for fun. I ain't got to do this. I don't need no AdSense money. I don't need none of that shit. Okay, so this is for fun. This is engagement. And when I set something up, I set shit up thoroughly. Don't play games with me like motherfucker don't know what it is. I hate that shit. We're in the middle of a fight. We're in the middle of a battle, and you looking around confused. Grab your fucking pistol and shoot, motherfucker. Shoot accurately. Use the training that you got. He been running around here for years saying he know all this. He been knocking heads off. And then for people to be just sitting there saving them is ridiculous. Whatever I wasn't even done, bro. Y'all don't even know what the fuck I had on the back end. I wasn't even done. I laid my premise out in the first slide, and I went first so that it wouldn't be any confusion. I stated exactly what I was going to do. And he had a chance to write it down, record it, and rebuttal his own thing or say what he was going to lay. And when he would have stated what he was going to lay, I would have refuted it and rebuttal. But he didn't want to go into resume because that's not a strong point for Rocky Marciano.
Yeah.
So when y'all let him do that, y'all let him do that every time, bro. And that's a lame ass strategy. He do that every time, and all y'all know it, and y'all let him get away with it. Smoke get in there and start describing the shit about the opponent, bro. I was clear in what I said. I've been talking to you guys for over a week about this debate, and I've been sending the text message out, and I put it on my channel. Me and him been talking back and forth in the chat. We was talking shit, and then he never said one thing about, hey man, I think we need to probably, to me to be more comfortable, I need to do X. He never said any of that because I'm under the impression that he know what the fuck he talking about, but clearly he don't. So y'all say he knew what he was doing with the resume. Why he didn't catch none of the mistakes that I got in there that I wrote down to see if he was going to do that? It took you to do that shit.
Hey man,
why couldn't you do it?
But one thing I think, man, when I think Rocky Marciano and I think Jack Johnson, I think both of them are known for something major. Marciano, whenever someone talks about Marciano, I always hear about 49-0. Whenever I hear about Jack Johnson, I hear first black heavyweight champion of the world. So that's usually what I hear that defines both of those guys' legacies. Now, going into the resume, that's part of the legacy, bro. You can't have a legacy without a resume, so there's no way you could have a legacy discussion and not expect to talk about the resume.
That's what I'm saying. So if I'm laying down a resume, and which is fine, he has to refute that and dispute that as a person who claims to know boxing. It's not me and you're not in a debate. And then it allows him to correct me and give him an opportunity to see if he can catch me. And the same thing with me, so we can correct the information in real time. And then you guys give us your criticism on who caught who and what was misinformation. But
and I tell you what, I was really surprised, bro. Zone, you brought up a lot of names. Hey, I didn't know you knew that much. Now I didn't expect to hear some of the names that I heard, though, man.
Yeah,
You're bringing up Fireman Jim Flynn.
Yeah.
You brought up Stanley Ketchel, Jeffries. You brought up Fitzsimmons.
Yes.
You brought up the Black Fighters. You know what I'm saying? So you brought up a lot of names, man. You really had it down, bro.
Yeah.
I got to give it to you on that, man.
Yeah. And
Klondike Haynes. I didn't expect to hear Klondike Haynes' name. I didn't even expect to hear Sam McVeigh. I didn't expect to hear none of these guys. I didn't expect to hear Denver Ed Martin. None of those guys, man. You brought all these guys up, man. I got to give you some. You must have did your homework. You've been reading on Jack Johnson.
And listen, I got a second half of that I haven't even finished with because I wanted to get into Sam. I didn't even get to Sam Langford. I didn't even get to. Yeah, I didn't get to Sam Langford. And I didn't get to rip up Joe Louis yet. I was going to get on Joe Louis. You know what I'm saying? Just as for kicks and giggles. But what I'm going to do, man, is I'm going to leave the debates alone. I'm going to kill it because I see now niggas don't really want to.
Keep going, bro.
No, I'm not. No, because one thing I'm not going to do is it's time consuming. I'm going to put my time into converting over into a more of a historian. I enjoyed the research with Jack Johnson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just present a piece on him and Rocky Marciano and clean it up instead of using it as debates because I see right now that this ain't going to work out, man. It's too much pride across the plane. Not just him, even with the 86 guy. Guys just don't want to concede. Guys got too much pride on this debate shit. It's not that serious. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let everybody else have that. I'm going to retire from the debates. And I'm going to let the young guys have that as well, too. And that is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
If you ever want to have a Jack Johnson discussion, though, we can have one. It don't have to be a debate.
I know. I'm going to move into discussions with. I'm going to take I'm about to be 10 years in. I'm going to move from the kid shit, and I'm going to move into more thorough presentations like you do. And I'm going to be just removed from all this extra engagement because I see people disingenuous. They full of shit. And they got too much pride. We all know. See, this is the problem with him. This is the problem I have with Smoke. He claims to be a high-level boxer fan, right? So when I say, he know what it entails, bro. That's what Jedi said. He said it right there. He said he come on panels talking shit like he know what he doing. We've been talking shit in the chat for the last week, dog. So it's not your responsibility as a judge or at the audience members to worry about all that. It's his job to present his case. And this shit failed. This was a disaster. This wasn't educational at all. And it was entertaining, but the educational part came from when I was ripping and spitting my piece. And he was spitting his piece, but he was too concerned about what I'm saying. Go ahead, Tony. You got some? Tony, you got something?
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think you should keep it going. Don't stop the debates. But you need to put it out ahead of time that the debaters themselves cannot argue with the judges. That's where it went left. He didn't like that he was hearing that he was losing, and it all went left. So I would put that as a disclaimer that anybody, even if I come on your panel, and the judge says something like where they disagree with me and I start arguing with them, you're DQ'd from the jump. You just lost. You can't argue with the judges.
We know that. That don't even got to be explained. He know first of all, he lost the first round. Rollo had it mapped out. He cut it off when there was enough information that could be judged and, critiqued. And then we was finna continue. I got 2 more rounds of information to provide. And then me and him could have kind of dialogued at the end about what I said and what was wrong. But people were so quick to ready to show you that they know some shit that you won't give the debaters a chance. And I'm not finna do it again. You fooled me once. That's it. I won't do this again. Go to the other guy channel. He got a better format for this to control you guys. Now I see why he do what he do. Because you guys don't collectively, you're bullshitting. I'm not finna waste my time with it. I'm done. Once you do this to me, because I don't get paid for this, I wasted my time. And I'm just going to put it into a file that is educational in nature and do my presentation. And I just go around and conversate with some people about boxing. But I see right now that this ain't gonna work at all. Somebody else is
My
started.
thing is this, though. My thing is this. Let's say I wrote it in your chat. You probably didn't see it, but let's just say the argument was Sugar Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? There's no debate who has the better resume. It's Sugar Ray Leonard. So if you had Sugar Ray Leonard, you would be stressing the fact of his resume. However, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Floyd Mayweather had a bigger impact on boxing. He changed boxing. So you would want to go with the impact that he had, and whoever can make the best argument of an impact versus resume would win the round. And that's what I felt like what was going on. So I don't see where the disconnect with Smoke was. I at the end of the day, it's both legacies. They're just different aspects of your legacy. And whoever can prove their point the best about that aspect just proved who had the better legacy.
But he do this all the time, though, so I'm not surprised. I said, man, we're going to get to a point where Smoke going to start questioning everybody and their intelligence and what the words mean. This happens all the time with this dude, man. I'm not even finna get into all that. Every time he just hung up on me the other day or got off the line the other day. Like, if I'm debating you, Tony, I'm not about to debate you about your description and the information that you provide. I'm not finna stop what I'm doing to say, no, Tony, this means that. You're technically wrong about this, because the nomenclature, he likes to debate about the structure of the debate. He doesn't actually provide any realistic information, because I still didn't hear him say anything about Rocky Marciano's opponents on his resume. It ain't because he's saying he could and he's so good, he just chooses not to. He don't know a fucking thing about it. He doesn't. He's going to go and research it now to try to prove that he don't know about Rocky Marciano. He don't know it. You guys are capping for him. He don't know Rocky Marciano. That's why he's talking about Customato.
Right. But listen though, Zone. Even if he did not know, let's say he did not know, he still can know like the impact that Marciano had, like how every heavyweight wants to break 49-0. Like Mayweather being 50-0 really doesn't matter. It never mattered at welterweight. It only matters at heavyweight. 49-0 is the thing that you're trying to break. You want to be 50-0 at heavyweight. You could also say that he inspired movies. He inspired coaches. You know what I mean? You could go that route, but that is what you're trying to beat on resume. That's your argument. Your argument is his impact. But if your argument about Jack Johnson, which has a great, like the difference in Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano is Rocky Marciano's 49-0 can be broken. Nobody can break first black champion, like heavyweight champion. You can't break that.
Exactly. So we didn't get to that, though.
Tony. Great
but
point.
We didn't. This is the thing. Everybody want to talk so much. I didn't get to that. I alluded to it. I said he was the first black champion. I didn't get to describing how that's impactful. I didn't get to do it because it was too much nonsense. I was just going to say, because being a black something is a one-off. That's more, like you said, 49-0, that can be broken. But see, we didn't get to that.
When two guys debate, also, another thing, you have to know both guys' resumes. If you don't know both guys' resumes, then you can't argue against what the other guy who's defending the resume, you can't argue against it if you don't know the resume.
Yeah, he didn't know it. He didn't know who Ed Denver Martin was. He didn't do enough research on it. And then he should at least know who Bob Fitzsimmons is. So why he didn't rebuttal none of that? I'm just trying to figure out, as smart as he is, as intellectual as he strives or claim to be, why didn't he rebuttal any of that? He had some good points about the cultural impact, and he was going cultural, which is cool, but I'm going with the resume, and I was going to get to cultural. We haven't even got to unforgivable blackness, and how Jack Johnson had a club, how he helped invented the wrench. Like I had more stuff to go, man, about his flamboyance and his impact on, or negative impact on different cultures, how he stood up for the cause, right? So we didn't get that far because he murks up the water all the time with his assumptions. He don't know where I was going with it, and that's where Smoke get confused, man. That's exactly why his name is called Get the Smoke. It's not Smoke because he want that work. It's because he throws smoke bombs and smoke screens, and he caused confusion during every debate.
The laws were getting changed, and people were getting hung over Jack Johnson fights.
So that's how detrimental they made a whole white title, a whole nother lineage of belt because of Jack Johnson. If that ain't a bad motherfucker, I don't know what is then. So it is what it is, man. I'm gonna say this like this. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kill it. That's it for the debate. We're gonna dox it. But however, for other people who want the opportunity, if you're interested, the belts are now vacant. He got smashed up. He gonna complain about it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the hands of 3 other would-be contenders. And like I said, I'm gonna get behind the scenes and I'm gonna talk to some judges and some moderators, and I'm gonna revamp this. And we're gonna do it like this. But these belts are now vacant. This is the end of Smoke. He got crushed, whatever it is, and we're moving on to the next. And we're gonna let other people have opportunities within the debate series. I'm gonna move toward having discussions and conversation more of a historical nature and stick to my schedule on what it is. That's gonna be Tuesdays and Thursdays, and reduce the time on here anyway.
I'll join you in any historical discussions, bro.
Yeah. All right.
I'll back you up every time, Zone.
All right, cool. That's all good. We're done because he just kept arguing with the judges. And once you argue with the judges, you're DQ'd. And we spent 30 minutes on arguing with the judges. And once the panel, it was over with after that. It was over with, and he don't listen. So yeah, he done. He out of here. I mean, it's good to go. And then we could have, even if you felt some type of way, you could have just said, okay, how about this? You could have just asked me some questions yourself. Why he needs y'all to ask me questions? He could have asked me questions on his turn of rebuttal, but he didn't, because he don't know the resumes, dog. He don't know resume. He just know cool reading inserts. So we good on that, man. We're gonna go ahead and kill it. And Tony, you can go ahead and speak on it, man, and say what you gotta say. Close it down. Blood, where can they find you at, man?
You can find me over at Retro Boxing and Documentaries, and you can also find me at Blood Boxing. And I'd like to thank all the people who came out here. I'd like to give a shout out to Get This Smoke, because that's still my boy. ZONE6, that's my boy. I'd like to shout out to the round table, all the guys there, and shout out to Tony's reviews too. I talked to him twice today. It's always a pleasure, Tony. That was a great point you made too, Tony, about how you could break 49-0, but there's only one guy who could be the first. Peace out to you guys, man. One love.
All right. Tony, what you got?
Nah, like I said, I just hopped back on to tell you, don't stop this shit. Keep it going. It was entertaining while it lasted. Just never quit because of one person, because what you do is a good thing. So keep pushing on. Appreciate you letting me back on. Have a good day.
Okay, yeah, you too. All right. So, hey, there you have it. When it's time to debate, it's a whole bunch of talking before the debate, fellas. It's a whole bunch of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, it's not that serious. I'm not going to take it personal. I didn't do nothing but just present information, y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a little exclusive, man, on some more information and dox this information. Let me see what else I had. And I'm going to go ahead and retire with that victory. He got stopped in the first round, or DQ, whichever one you want to call it. So, yeah, I was on Bob Fitzsimmons' fights to the finish, man. He had a few of those. He had 8 of those. And then we was going to go to the rise of Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was champ from September the 2nd to September the 2nd, 1953, September 13th, 1955. All right, at that time he was 12-1. Rocky Marciano was still around. Rocky Marciano was champ, or I'll say, he started 1947 to 55. That's an 8-year career. So he and Sonny Liston definitely had some time to cross each other, right? When you look at Rocky Marciano activity, he had 4-rounders. He had a total of 5 of those. 6-rounders. He had a total of 6. 8-rounders. He had a total of 2. 10-rounders. He had a total of 28. 15-rounders. He had a total of 7. So all this 49-0 shit, yeah, you got a whole bunch of 10 rounders. You got 28 of those. You got 8 rounders in your shit. You only literally have 7 15-round fights. 7. And that's because you had the title. So when we start talking about this 49-0, shit, with 7 15-rounders, how is that not hard to break? Then let's look at Jack Johnson activity. 45 rounders. Listen to what I'm telling you. 45 rounders. Jack Johnson had 4. 20 rounders. Jack Johnson had 23. 15 rounders. Jack Johnson had 6. Man, that's activity like a motherfucker, man. That shit's pretty dope. Resume. Look at Sam Langford. He fought Sam Langford. Sam Langford had a total of 314 total fights with 210 total wins. This guy had 126 total knockouts and 43 losses with 53 draws. This dude was the 5-time colored heavyweight champion in the world, considered to be one of the greatest boxers of all times. Sam Langford, he had all-time great wins against Tiger Flowers, who was an International Boxing Hall of Fame middleweight guy. He beat notable names like Harry Greb, Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, which seems to be a complaint or bitch and moaning issue that I brought up for some reason. That's an International Boxing Hall of Fame light heavyweight champion. He beat Bob Fitzsimmons in the illustrious Barbados Wildcat. That's one of the blood guys. We didn't get to this material. He beat Kid Norfolk. This is Sam Langford now. He beat Kid Norfolk, who's the International Boxing Hall of Fame, who's the colored light heavyweight champion. He beat Harry Greb. Joe Gans, International Boxing Hall of Fame, lightweight champion, welterweight champion, all-time great lightweight. He beat Sam McVeigh, who's an International Boxing Hall of Fame colored heavyweight champion. Stanley Ketchel, International Boxing Hall of Fame middleweight champion. Okay? Harry Wills, International Boxing Hall of Fame colored heavyweight champion. 25 defenses of the colored title. Joe Jeanette, International Boxing Hall of Fame colored heavyweight champion. George Godfrey, International Boxing Hall of Fame colored heavyweight champion. Dixie Kidd, International Boxing Hall of Fame welterweight champion. He beat the notable Barbados Wildcat, who's considered the all-time great welterweight. Sam Langford had a total of 10 International Boxing Hall of Fame opponents, and he had 23 International Boxing Hall of Fame wins. And when you compare that to Joe Louis, let's talk about Joe Louis, right? As an opponent of Rocky Marciano. James Lee Braddock is an International Boxing Hall of Famer, right? Max Mellon, International Boxing Hall of Fame. Primo Carnera, International Boxing Hall of Fame. Max Barra, International Boxing Hall of Fame. Jack Sharkey, International Boxing Hall of Fame. John Herring, International Boxing Hall of Fame. So when you look at Joe Louis, he got 6 International Boxing Hall of Fame opponents, 6 International Boxing Hall of Fame wins. But something to point out with Jack Sharkey had 0 title defenses. Max Barra had 0 title defenses. Primo Carnera had 2 title defenses. Max Schmeling had 1 title defense. James J. Braddock had 0. So we're talking about what? A total of 3 title defenses for the best opponents on Joe Louis's resume. When you take a deep dive at it, and some of the quotes about Sam Langford, one of the greatest boxers of all time, if you were to compare him to the best opponent on your boy's Rocky Marciano's resume, which is arguably going to be Joe Louis, right? Joe Louis is probably the best opponent on Rocky Marciano's resume, right? So let's look at some quotes. We was talking about Mike Tyson earlier. Let's listen to what some of these people say, or let's read what some of these people say. Mike Tyson, because he mentioned Mike Tyson and he mentioned Costamato and how valuable Costamato is, and Jack Johnson, Mike Tyson is, right? So we was going to get down to this. And I'm going to tell you what Mike Tyson said. He said, "I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. I think Sam Langford was the greatest fighter we ever had. That's coming from Jack Dempsey, who Mike Tyson and Costamato, that crew, cited Jack Dempsey as there's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. But Jack Dempsey says, I think Sam Langford was the greatest fighter we ever had. There's another quote from Jack Dempsey. The hell, I fear no man. There was one man, he was even smaller than I, and I wouldn't fight him because I knew he would flatten me. That's what Jack Dempsey says about Sam Langford. Here's another quote. His punching power is legendary. Of that power, Harry Wells once remarked, when Sam hits you in the body, you kind of look around half expecting to see his glove sticking out of your back. When he hit you on the chin, you didn't think at all until they brought you back to life. When he knocked me out in New Orleans, I thought I had been killed. Then we still got Stanley Ketchel, International Boxing Hall of Fame, middleweight, Jack Johnson KO Stanley Ketchel in 12. Resume, extra, James J. Jeffries. Didn't even get to him. International Boxing Hall of Fame, heavyweight champion. 9 total championship fights, 7 total championship defenses, a 5-year run. Notable wins: Bob Fitzsimmons, Tom Sharkey, James J. Corbett. Jack Johnson KO Jeffries in 14. The guys on Jack Johnson's resume is arguably better than Rocky Marciano himself and everybody on Rocky Marciano's resume. That's why you don't want to argue about the resume. I understand why. And we start getting to cultural impact. We can talk about Jack Johnson Club. We can talk about the numerous of documentaries done on him. We can talk about his impact on being the first black heavyweight champion. But what's important in boxing is your resume and who you fought. Not what color boots you wear, not how many cars you own, not how many posters are put up on the wall. At the end of the day, when you're talking about a Hall of Famer, I mean, it's not like Jack Johnson's not in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. That's why I brought this up, because your impact has to be something of some sort if you make it into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Your impact on culture and tradition and trailblazing has to be something if you make it into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. There's just no logical way that, as far as resume and record-setting opponents and cultural impact, that Rocky Marciano was better than Jack Johnson. And that's just light work. That's just a few slides. We're not going to get into the other quotes. I'll say that for a presentation, clean this up and tighten this up, and we'll move toward a more historical type of position. Because what I'm noticing about the community is that guys don't really know what the fuck they talking about. It's a lot of cap. It's a lot of I know this, I know that, but you really don't know how to articulate it when somebody's standing across from you. And that's across the board. I don't care what community or what sect or what faction you're a part of. You guys don't really know what you're talking about. Traps were laid, opportunities were presented, and they were not taken advantage of by a guy who's supposed to be someone who knows boxing. And see, this is what I'm saying, man. You got to separate the real from the fake, dog. That's the whole purpose of these debates. And people can say whatever they want to say, man, because they're going to try to stir up drama. But one thing I don't do, man, is I'm a real person. I give you my life live in HD. I don't make up shit. I conceive. I don't I tell the truth, man. And I don't like liars. I don't like liars, bro. You lie to me one fucking time, bro, you out of here. No disrespect. I ain't got nothing to say against you. If you want me to leave you alone, tell a lie. And it's the same pattern over and over. You get on these forums, you're having a debate. Everybody wants to itch and show you how much they fucking know. Everybody wants to shine at the wrong time, man. My standard for judging is this: if I'm ever a judge, because this shit for the titles, I'm gonna give it out to the deserving young up and coming hungry channels that have something to prove. I'm not letting these OGs battle for this. That's it for that. Too much pride, too much ignorance, and too much I want to swing my dick out. Let somebody else fucking have a moment for a second, man. Shit's crazy, man. Y'all got to stop saving these guys. It's these guys who claim to be debaters and experts. It's their duties and responsibility to present a case. That's what the responsibility is. So that's gonna be it. This is why I take breaks, because you guys, not everybody, but some of you guys are full of shit. You lie too much. You lie about Andrade. You lie about Spence. You can't take your licks like a man or a woman, and then you just move on. You got guys out here saying they don't want to see the fucking Earl Spence fight. It's past due. Got guys making excuses for Andrade. This is why you guys get mowed over, man. Nobody can't tell y'all nothing. Somebody cool try to bring some fun into it. Y'all wonder why other factions say fuck y'all and do what they want to do. Y'all just as bad, man. Can't even have fun. I want to swing their dick around. Consider the other people that might be want to get introduced to Jack Johnson. And for Smoke to be an idiot and to murk up the waters when it could be possibly a young person, a young boxing fan that's interested in the resume. How the fuck somebody gonna learn something, bro, if I don't bring up a resume? You bring up what you want to bring up about Rocky Marciano or whoever the said fighter is. But the truth is, I know the truth. You do this all the time. No disrespect to you, but you burk up the waters every time, and I know why you do it. Because you're trying to hide the truth. You want to appear to know some shit and be well read, but you're not. You're not. And you're just not that good at debating. When you have to resort down to describing what the debater is saying instead of rebutting, you can't do anything about it. Then when you want to argue with the judge, we're not going to let that shit continue. This shit look like trash. We're not going to keep this going on. People laughing at this shit. This shit look lame. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But when it becomes lame, bro, I'm not finna do that shit. I'm telling you right now, ZONE6 don't do lame shit, bro. I'm not finna fuck with no lame. I don't know if smoking lame. I don't know what the fuck he is, but I don't do lame shit. That shit got me really got me pissed off, bro. Cause I really feel like a fly nigga, and I don't like how this shit turned out. I'm gonna be real with you. And I know Cuz kind of, I know he from Cali. I know he kind of do things different, but bro, I fuck with him, but I don't like that shit. That shit lame as fuck. And I'm being real Atlanta now. I'm being Kendall now. That shit really got me pissed off, dog. Cause that's lame as fuck. We selected the fucking judges together on your panel. We selected everything. I asked for a week. I begged for a week. What are the terms? What do you have? It ain't my fucking responsibility to fucking hold your hand and say, let me make you even more comfortable. Motherfucker, I'm trying to smash your shit in the debate. I've been telling him I'm going to smash him in the debate. in the text all week long. He ain't say shit. Now he responded to talking shit, but he didn't say anything about the structure. And for all you motherfuckers out there that's talking structure, you knew what the fuck it was. This ain't a fucking circus over here, man. And all this ignorant, incompetent shit, all this goddamn, I'm ready and I can't wait, and then on the day of, motherfuckers don't have their shit together. I understand circumstances happen. But y'all niggas think that y'all think this shit is just some shit I wake up and just wanna goddamn do? You think I give a fuck about this shit, really? You think I won't lead this shit? Like I would do that and do some other shit with the rest of my summer. I got plenty of shit that I can do. I don't gotta share a goddamn thing with you. When shit get lame, bro. I don't fuck with lame shit, dog. And yes, this is what I'm describing the debate is. Fuck all that talk. That shit was lame. That shit disgusting. I clearly laid out my premise. I still got the fucking slide here. I said it again. Then everybody talking about, oh shit, yeah, he kind of did. Yeah, that's how a debate go. There's a subject, and then you lay out your premises and your claims and your bullet points. I say it one more time before I get out here, just in case a motherfucker asks. I say intro. Discuss the basic numbers just as a base comparison. I will compare the resumes, fighter by fighter. I will deep dive into the records set by the opponents, by each boxer. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Let me make it make sense each point to show you that I was on point with my shit, right? I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna say this. Let me see this. Let me go through each point, right? Let's go through each point. I'm gonna screen share this shit. Cause I like to prove shit, man. All that talking and shit. Let's really look at this shit. Hold on. And we can do this together. Fuck what you heard. All right. Okay. 1 second. We're going to cut this down a little bit and we'll let that loop back around. Hold on. All right. So you guys can hear. Yeah, don't worry about that. I ain't got no porn up and all that kind of shit. All right. So let's look at this, right? All right. Let's do it like this. So y'all can really see it, right? All right. Now, this is what I got right here. This is the PowerPoint that I have, man. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you guys got good eyes. I said, intro, discuss the basic numbers just as a base comparison between Jack and Rocky. That's what I did. That's exactly what I did, bro. I will compare the resumes fighter by fighter. That's what I did. Okay. I will deep dive into the records set by the opponents on each boxer's resume, along with who they fought to give them credibility as a boxer. I brought up the Triple Crown winner. I brought out cultural impact on the guys who's on Jack Johnson's resume. I ain't even get to him. I got to Bob Fitzsimmons, and I told you what he did. I told you he was the lightest heavyweight champion ever, the first Triple Crown winner, and compared it and related to Roy Jones, somebody who's new and somebody who could be understood. To paint the picture from Bob Fitzsimmons, this shit ain't that old. You niggas born in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s. You niggas act like you weren't born in the 1900s. Like, you niggas need to knock this shit off. Like, you niggas weren't born when Jack Johnson was damn near alive in some cases. Hey, come on, man. You niggas ain't that young. You niggas weren't born in 2015. The fuck is you niggas talking about? I see the demographic. Most of you niggas is old. I'm 39 and you niggas older than me. They smoke 50-some years old. Most of you niggas was born when this shit was going on. You niggas just started watching boxing. That's the fucking problem. It ain't my fault you niggas 70 years old and you started watching boxing with Floyd Mayweather. Nigga, you the one should be been watching the fights when some of you niggas old enough to see Rocky Marciano fight. Some of you niggas was around when Muhammad Ali was fighting and you didn't watch it. Because you were doing some other shit. I will use quotes to validate impact or influence of the fighter on their resumes. I mean, these are quotes. What do they have to do with resume? This is me talking about the entirety of the whole person concept. Then I say overall, I will present and compare the accomplishments. See, I said something else. So I'm talking about quotes, impact, influence, fighters, resumes, accolades. Like, what the fuck, man? Logic and tangible evidence. And see, that's the problem, man. You niggas too antsy because you niggas be want to get on here and want to debate a nigga so bad. Some of you niggas don't really want to be no judges. Some of you niggas just want to really pick apart the person who debating to kind of get some sneaky licks in. That's not what this is about, man. This is about educating people. If it's flaws in the argument, that's what makes it fun. Nobody don't want to fucking hear an entire fucking high school presentation all the time. Nobody don't want to hear that shit all the time, dog. They want to hear some back and forth. They want to see some action. They want to see if Zone got some gaps in his resume and what he's talking about so Smoke can counter and vice versa. Nobody don't want to just hear everybody hit the wicket all the time. They want it to be some interactions and some action. And I think we just have different visions on how this should go. And I think that we just not on the same page. Dude escaped. He murked up the waters on purpose. He do this all the time, man. So I can't fuck with nobody like that. No disrespect. It ain't no beef. It ain't nothing like that. I just can't fuck with a nigga like that. To sit on here and lie live like that, that's the same shit the last nigga did. Complain about it, man. I'm not finna keep debating these crybaby ass, lame ass niggas. I'm not setting up no traps for you niggas. Am I that scary? That I can't just get goddamn the benefit of the doubt that I'm trying to have a conversation with you? Have I created, am I that? I know you niggas gonna say not. But your actions, am I that scary to you niggas? And on this boxing shit? And I'm a middle child. I'm not a young nigga. I'm not an old nigga. I'm in the fucking middle. Sometimes I just want to have a conversation, bro. I'm not trying to beat you and best you in life. I don't need to do that shit. I got me. I'm straight. I don't need to win on you niggas all the time. I've told you that I've gotten work by Jedi. I've gotten work by beasts. I gotten work by boxologists. Matter of fact, I'm probably the only nigga that have said that. Everybody else you talk to them, they fucking undefeated. Never lost nothing. They the coolest nigga, but they got coal in their eyes. Ugly as fuck. Probably ain't had a bitch in 10 years. Come on, man. What the fuck is we talking about? And I feel like niggas is lame, bro. I really feel like that shit. That shit make me feel like, okay, all right, man, these niggas getting too lame, bro. You gonna have to do something else with your summer, bro. But what I'm gonna do is I know what to do. I ain't gonna stop nothing. What I'm finna do is I'm finna start taking a different approach. I ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna talk you to death. I'm gonna show you. I'll be on here on Tuesdays, and I'll be on here Thursdays, and I'll be on here Sundays. And I'm gonna concentrate on what it is that I like to concentrate on. I ain't debating with nobody about shit. Because every time I set one up, I get a crybaby. Last nigga cried about the judges. This nigga arguing with the judges. Like, God damn, my nigga. Before that, it was the judge. It's always when niggas debate me, all of a sudden it's some stinkiness in the air. But y'all have fun beating up on these pansies. When I come around, niggas get scared and it's niggas start running and shit. Nigga, I'm not Omar from the fucking wire. I'm just trying to have a conversation and spread information. Instead of just saying if Smoke had the opportunity to say he don't want to debate. Just say you don't just say Zone, I don't want to debate you. Just say that. At least BFT his ass, he got the nuts to say, no, I don't want to debate you. At least he's got the nuts to say, no, I don't want to do it. You niggas get on here and say, oh, I want to smoke. I'm ready. I want the titles. I want to get that work. Zone, you challenge me. Just say no then. Just say no. And you know why I'm going to beat you? And you know why I'm going to continue to beat you? And you know why you guys are always going to bail out and claim different? Because I'm going to share this what I learned from all the guys who I debated that's more valuable than you guys. And I said I was going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you this because I'm closing out and I'm not debating anybody no more. I don't give a fuck. You know what I learned from Jedi when I had debated him with the Keith Thurman thing? What I learned from Jedi when I had Phil on my sword with Keith Thurman, I learned that you got to trust a fighter to be himself. And that layoffs, when you trying to pick a fighter, you have to consider layoff and what they do outside of the ring. And Keith Thurman, although he was a power puncher, he was this, he was that, he had too much going on outside the ring. And see, I didn't see that. So Pacquiao was more of an active fighter. And not to say Keith Thurman didn't do his job, but at the end of it, he said what? Keith Thurman said he was in fat count. And Keith Thurman said his outside ring practices have affected his career. So I learned that that's something I should pay attention to, especially when I'm going to go in for a debate. And I learned that against Jedi. When I was, hey, Keith Thurman's gonna whoop his ass, and we was debating for it about months. It was a good fight now, and we was debating for it months, and Keith Thurman dropped the ball and lost. But see, if I had paid a little bit more close attention to the boxer and took my time and slowed the fuck down, I probably would have kind of seen his points. That's what I learned from that. Boxing Beats and Rhymes, I remember I jumped on his channel. What I learned is to stop going to people platform, especially when they got a major audience like that. You can't jump on just anybody's platform and challenge them. You got to slow down. And with Beats, I had learned I probably should have slowed down. I was new to it, and I came over there, and I was working Deontay Wilder, and that was just an unpopular subject, right? It was just to allude to Deontay Wilder being possibly great or possibly good. Even though I believe it to be true, and I think Deontay Wilder is good, it's just not a subject that people are going to allow you to get over on a major channel. So right now, if I say something about Frank Martin and I challenge Blood, it's just not going to fare well. So I learned to slow down and be a little bit more patient with Beats. With the boxing librarian, I had a Carlos Monzon and Marvin Hagler a little debate, sparring, but it wasn't official. We were just going back and forth with video. All these are light work sparring. What boxing librarian taught me was to slow down and do some research. I had to do a lot of research against boxing librarian to present the case for Carlos Monzon over Marvin Hagler. Because Marvin Hagler is a very popular guy, but I knew if anybody could give me a challenge on what I thought and what I believed, it would be boxing librarian. And it came out with Monzon being good, and people know me for bringing Monzon as well as Thurman to the forefront and being a Deontay Wilder truther and now a Tank truther. And of course, yes, I like Pacquiao, and of course, I hate Mayweather's 47 career. Most people know I like 147 in heavyweight, in middleweight. So I learned that from Beats. And I had one with boxologists. And what I learned from boxologists is that no matter what the outcome of a debate is, no one's going to concede. No one's going to concede. I think outside of myself, it's only two people that might concede to losing the debate, and that's boxing talk, Wayne talk, and I think J Deal. Wayne talk is probably the best person at conceding to debates and moving on. With boxologists, I realized that if you're a self-proclaimed knowledgeable boxing fan, if it don't go your way, you're not going to concede. No disrespect to boxologists, but it's the same thing with Smoke. He's self-proclaimed. Same thing with 86. He's self-proclaimed. They're never going to concede anything. It's always going to be an excuse. And Wayne Talk don't consider himself a historian. See, I think I am, and I would concede. If Smoke won the debate, he would have won the debate, man. I would have had no problem with that. If he would have caught me up on all them points that blood was dropping for him, then I would have said he got it. Another thing is, just to make this clear, Blood is good and Blood can say what he want to say, but he don't know Blood don't know what kind of preparation I would have done with a debate with him. He don't know what traps I would lay for him. I know he's different from Get This Smoke. See, I already know that Get This Smoke is looking to get out of this. I already know that if you flood with him with information, he's going to melt. Blood is not that same type of guy, so the numbers and the analytics have to be rechecked. And I have to put side notes on the side, just in case. So that's what I learned from those debates. And I just don't think other people take the debates as a... I just don't think people is doing right by the debates. And I don't think they ever will. It's too much pride, too much arguing, too much falling out, and it get real lame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to retire from that, and I'm going to just go ahead and do historical pieces and galvanize people about the subject matters that's current, and I'm going to just play ball like everybody else, man. And I'm going to just fall into a space that's solid and cool and consistent for myself with my time. If I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not, because I see now that this shit ain't going to work. Yeah, y'all making me treat y'all like I gotta break up with a little dime that's out of control. Bitch, you ain't that bad. Cause I get another one. Yeah, cause I'm that nigga. Like y'all, this shit like a little fine little red bone, chocolate bone, thick and shit like that, but you're out of pocket. So I gotta goddamn put your ass in timeout. I put you in the back of the rotation. All the summer fun and shit. Bitch, you can't ride with me no more. Bitch, you can't, I ain't give you nothing for the summertime. I'm finna go with Shawty over here. That's how y'all making me finna treat y'all, man. Like my sub bitch. Y'all don't know how to act, man. Y'all don't know how to act, man. All right, man, but oh man, that was embarrassing, man. That was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah, man. We look like some fools. Damn, that shit was terrible, man.
Break it down. Give me 5 people you ready to fight right now.
Timothy Bradley, Paulie, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fans want to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you in the head and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the bruise. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table. Yeah.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, ZONE6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.
Break it down. Give me 5 people you ready to fight right now.
Timothy Bradley, Paul, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fans want to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you in the head and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the bruise. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table. Yeah.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, ZONE6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.